Oh, God. Is that it? Now you can hear me? Oh, yeah. This is great. All right. Well, now you should have my audio, right? You have my audio? Hey, Ben, I was just saying I got done doing an interview. It's Ben's show, the Travel Man podcast. Oh, no, Angela, you're not doing anything wrong. It was me. I wasn't sending my mic. So, Ralph, hold on a second. But welcome everyone to the lounge. Say hi in the chat. How you doing on this Wednesday evening? What are you drinking? Have you been playing a lot of chess? That's the question. And I want to know your biggest problem in podcasting. So, Daniel, what's up, man? Oh, yeah. All right. So I'm going to get this link. Wait. Oh, geez. Where is the link? See? All right. Hold on. I got to stop sharing. Got to invite. Copy to clipboard. See, this is what happens when I need a producer. Where is my producer? Where is Ralph M. Rivera? All right, Ralph, I just put it in Facebook. So, yeah. Oh, we're becoming addictive. Oh my. Crazy. Well, it is. We do develop an addiction here in the lounge for sure. We listen to the Grateful Dead. Oh, she's getting her chair. There you go. Come on, you got to get set up. You got to get your snacks. Well, you guys can have snacks. I'm not going to eat snacks on the stream. I'm gonna save you from that. But I got my drink, and I didn't even get to go to the bathroom, so I don't know if I'm gonna last 2 hours here. All right, it is time. Everyone, imagine in your mind right now. Imagine a drum roll. Imagine a drum roll that's gaining in energy. It's getting louder. It's getting louder. And he's here, Ralph M. Rivera.
Wouldn't it be great if my mic didn't work?
Oh.
Is my mic working?
Oh, it's on a delay. We can hear you, though. How you doing, man?
Why am I on a delay?
No, the audio and video aren't synced up. Sometimes it takes like a few seconds.
Well, before
you're good now.
Before you said you need a producer, if this was the Howard Stern show, it'd be you'd need a producer.
That's right. Fa-fa-fo-hi.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm feeling
you
good.
Shaved. You look at you. You're all clean shaven.
I took a shower before. I always shower before the lounge, bro. Pretty much.
Man. When we were
Anyone else?
When we were on the phone yesterday, you were all like mountain man. You had like the beard going on, and you were all scruffy and handsome. What happened?
Hey, what happens when you? Have you ever had this experience? I'm sure you have. There's a celebrity that you haven't seen in many years, and then you like see them on a video and you're like, oh my God, they're old. They got old. Like that happened to me. That happens to me with Jack Black when he's doing his YouTube videos. And like, you know, because I remember Jack Black from 20 years ago at least. And anyway, when you look at him now, he's like an old, middle-aged dude. And it's like, I mean, it's all normal stuff. We all age. Anyone here who doesn't age, please type 1 in the chat. Thank you.
I think it probably has to do more with the big beard he's got rocking right now.
Yeah, because it's gray. That's the thing. If he was clean shaven, wow. All right, Roth Media. That should be you, Daniel. Right? Is that you, Daniel? Just kidding. Oh,
look at me.
Angela's getting some wine. Ralph, what do you got? You drink? What do you drink? I know you got some.
So let's see. I've got water with lime.
Ooh.
And then I've got Carolyn on call for my whiskey. I actually wasn't going to have the whiskey, and Carolyn said, "You know what? It's a tradition during the Podcasters Lounge, so you're going to have to make that happen."
Yeah. Well, okay. Just go easy, man. Yeah. See, Daniel is now on Twitch. Yeah. Isn't Twitch awesome?
Is that Roth Media?
Yeah.
Is that Daniel J. Lewis?
No, it's Daniel Abendroth.
Ah.
Pace yourself. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Daniel. Andy Wang is here. Andy Wong, excuse me. What's up, Andrew Wong? You put a lot of stuff on Instagram, Andy. It's good, man. I like it. There's so little delay. That's cool. That's one thing that's great about Twitch. Do you watch Ralph M. Rivera? Do you watch any programming on Twitch?
I do. I actually, there's a show called Podcasters Lounge that I follow. And there's only one more that I follow. It's Donica19. She used to be called Comic Book Girl 19. She does commentary on, film, comic books, that kind of stuff. Okay. She was mostly on YouTube before, but now she's trying to kind of get herself situated on Twitch, which I think is a good move for her.
That's good.
Actually, didn't you?
By the way,
didn't you recommend this book to me? The 33 Strategies of War. Was that you that recommended it?
No, but let me show it again. The 33 Strategies of War?
Yeah.
Is that like The Art of War by Sun Tzu?
Well, I think conceptually, yes. I haven't read it yet, but Donica19, she does these book clubs. She did Dune, which I talked about the last time I was on here, and now this is the book that she's doing. I don't really know anything about it, but I'm a fan of hers, and I guess that makes her an influencer because she said, "Hey, I'm doing this book club with this book," and I ran out and bought it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. Well, so have you read any of the strategies, any of the 33 yet?
This is literally the first time I even touched this book.
Okay.
I have not touched it yet. I'm going to start reading it over the next couple of days.
So what, see, every time I say, okay, cool, my phone perks up thinking I said, okay.
Terrific.
Google. Oh, terrific. Check this out, my brother.
I know. I saw. Actually, I meant to ask you because I was looking for that in your stream. So, like, text me or something the title because I wanted to look at that.
Okay. Yeah, it might be hard to find. Actually, it was hard for me to find one to buy it, but I'll send you that.
I actually have an amazing bookstore by us that has all kinds of used books, new books too. A little mom and pop shop. I bought a big collection of books called The History of Civilization. It was like a $700 set, big leather bound, beautiful edition. And if it's out there, they'll find it for you.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So everybody who's here, I want to just remind you that the name of this stream is Let's Solve Your Biggest Podcasting Problem. And I thought, hanging out is fun, but like, if I really want to know from each of you, like, really, because here's the thing. I know in my life, like, I have a podcast, and there's a problem I have with my show that I wish I had a solution for. And Ralph, you and I have talked privately about this like 700 times probably. And it's really about marketing and how to find the right students for my school when nothing like my school exists. Anyway, that's my problem. That's my one problem. I wish we could find a solution. We will talk about mine later. And, but what's yours? So Ben from the Travel Man podcast says his problem is lining up guests. Is that your number one problem though, Ben? Is that the number? Because here's the thing. I want to solve this stuff right now on stream.
I actually participated in helping somebody solve one of their problems today. Do you know Danielle Daly?
No.
She hosts a very popular podcast called Suddenly Single, which is about, it started because she got a divorce and she didn't see it coming, and she was suddenly single. So what she does on her podcast is she has conversations with people who have some kind of loss in their life, whether it's through a divorce or a death or a tragedy, cancer, sickness, whatever it is. And, how they're kind of making it through. It's not necessarily about the relationship. Like, it's not like, get on and have your spouse, bash your spouse. So one of the things that she wants to do for season 3, she's in the process of editing, producing the last couple of episodes for season 2. And when season 3 starts, one of the things that she wants to do, or to your point, Chris, one of her biggest problems is that, number one, she wants to line up people for season 3, but also she wants to have a more varied group of people that she talks to. So a lot of, pretty much all of her guests are like, just like a hetero couple. So she wants to talk to gay couples, trans couples, to kind of explore different types of loss. So she mentioned that to me. She said that was a big problem, and I introduced her to a couple of my gay friends, and they're going to be on season 3 of the of the show. So it goes to show that we can all participate in podcasting, not just by being behind a mic or mixing or gain staging and all that other stuff. There are a lot of ways that we can help people offline. I don't even have a whiskey to drink to that. That's usually my prompt.
I know you're the only guy I know who you say the code words to make yourself drink. It's
I know.
Unbelievable.
My wife is sitting over there.
She drank
lazy instead of getting her man a drink. I don't know what this world is coming to.
So, all right. So Ben has a problem. Ben's problem is lining up guests. Okay. We're going to cover that in a second. I want to make sure I don't miss any though. So Angela, did you put in the comments your one big problem, Angela? Oh, and she's asking you, Ralph. She missed what she needs a couple to feature what experience? Ralph, she's asking about the host you were just talking about. What was who was she looking for?
So the show is called Suddenly Single. It's about people that have experienced loss. So she's looking for people who have gone through a divorce or gone through, had a death of an important or significant other. Someone who is suddenly single by way of a some kind of tragic event.
Okay, and Andy Wong is asking about Squadcast versus Clean Feed versus etc.
Wow,
oh, Angela, yeah,
that is
motivation and accountability.
Question. Squadcast versus Clean Feed,
and I think etc. Meaning, sorry, what?
If I had $1 for every time I heard that question,
I know Barry Gary's common. Here. What's up, Barry? Yeah, I know. That's a common one. That's for sure a common one. But we'll talk about it.
Hey, Angela, if you want to email me on that, you can email me at Ralph, RALPH, at podcasterstoolbox.com. I'd love to follow up with you on that.
There you go. See, we're solving problems right here, baby. Solving it.
So Chris, you did a shootout. I'm going back to the Squadcast versus Clean Feed, but on one of your episodes of Podcast Engineering Show, you did a shootout of Squadcast, Clean Feed.
I did. I only did Squadcast, Zencastr, and Ringer. I didn't do Clean Feed.
But you did Squadcast version 1. You haven't done Squadcast version 2 yet.
Correct. Although I believe I didn't hear that they changed anything with the actual quality of recording and stuff. So it would probably still be the same today. So, and by the way, they pretty much won as far as quality goes. Yeah.
Hey, how do I chat in this window? Because I have the live comments on, but how do I post so that people can see what I'm typing? Because
I think you have to do it in Facebook. Go on Facebook then. And
Angela, where are you? Are you in Facebook or Twitch?
Or Angela, just email him. It's Ralph at podcasterstoolbox.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you, sir. I'm trying to get to the...
All right. Everybody email Ralph. Not just Angela. Eric Hunley's here. Eric Hunley says, Andy Wong. Yeah, baby. All right. Everybody email Ralph. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, just email him some stuff. Email him anything, really.
Yeah, anything at all. It's all good.
Just say hi. Do you ever get an email that just says hi in the subject line and just blank otherwise? I've never gotten that. But Mike McCallan, he pings me on either Slack or usually Slack. He'll just be like, hi.
There we go.
And then I'll look at my phone and it'll be like, oh, 2.5 hours ago, Mike McCallan said hi. It's like, because he's just pinging me to see if I'm there, right? All right, so we're going to get to solving some of these problems. If you're new here, if you just joined, welcome to the lounge. This is your lounge. Okay, so feel free to lounge, drink water, drink other beverages. We're a water heavy stream.
So I want to get back to your shootout. Who won in your shootout when you did yours?
So, okay, well, first of all, Ringer off the bat didn't win because it actually only recorded it only records up to it records in 22 kilohertz sample rate, which means it only records up to 11,000 hertz, which means that most of the frequencies aren't captured. It's not the craziest thing ever, but it's certainly not professional audio. But by the way, Ringer now, I saw something that they do now. They will record in full frequency. I haven't tried it yet. But anyway, yes. So the winners were Zencastr and Squadcast were the two that had almost identical quality. Back then, I thought Zencastr sounded a little better, but it was a little and I used to use Zencastr almost all the time. Now I am using Squadcast all the time. So,
well, I think that's important to point out that even though Zencastr won your shootout, what is it about Squadcast that makes that a contender? And by the way, I want to go back to Andrew's question because he said Squadcast versus CleanFeed. Those are the two, but we're talking about Zencastr is the one that won your shootout, and in a very close second place with Squadcast. But you're using that second place now. So what is it about Squadcast today that edges out Zencastr?
Well, first of all, the team at Squadcast is great, and the reliability. So those are the two things. What happened was Zencastr. I had a problem with Zencastr. What's up, Mike Wilkerson? What's up, Dave Visaya? What's up, gentlemen? By the way, please in the comments tell us what is your biggest problem with podcasting, because we're gonna solve it live right here. We got Ralph on the show in the lounge, and he knows everything. So Ralph is gonna solve all our problems today on stream. See, I bumped my mic.
I can't work this way, Chris. If you're going to keep bumping your mic,
look, I keep bumping.
I
see the new angle.
Work like this.
Yeah, baby. So anyway, I was using Zencastr, and after recorded, when we hit stop, everything was gone. It looked like it was recording fine the whole time, but literally it didn't record. We lost all the recordings.
I do remember this.
This was now probably 2.5 months ago. I'm gonna say early 2020, and that's it. I mean, that's the first time that ever happened to me on Zencastr, but that's the last. Because I mean, I work with clients, and I can't be on a session with a client, and then all of a sudden, where's the file? Oh, sorry, it's not there.
All right, so I'm gonna call it here, Andrew. Problem solved. There you go, Squadcast.
Well, but Andy was asking about CleanFeed. So CleanFeed's a little different animal where it doesn't record each person locally. And I don't know if they do multi-track now. Like if you get 4 people on, I don't think the way CleanFeed does it is they record your local audio on the left channel, let's say, and they record everyone else, whether it's 1 person or 5 people, on the right channel. Mm-hmm. So it's not, CleanFeed is not the same animal as Squadcast and Zencastr and Ringer.
All right, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to say Squadcast. If I had a bell, I'd ring it. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, these days, I mean, look, with the team they put together and how dedicated they are and how much they listen to us. I mean, it's just great working with those guys because they'll, I talk to them quite often. And we talk about stuff and like they're listening to the community and they're actually making the changes and doing it. And that very cool.
So Angela Brooks, she said, I'm trying to put together a co-authored book on podcasting. So any connections would be amazing. Angela, I would say reach out to David Hooper. He wrote a book called Big Podcast, which as far as I'm concerned is one of the best books on podcasting. And he's always looking for collaborations and stuff. So that's who I would reach out to.
Yes, Angela's putting together that book. And yeah, she's reaching out to all kinds of people. And I've been approached with several books like that because this is an old formula where it doesn't mean it doesn't work, by the way. But where someone will sort of get get 20 experts to each write a chapter and then put it in a book. It's great. It works.
Yeah.
You know, it can work. Let's put it that way. But I don't know. So hopefully that works. Shane Whaley's here. What's up, Shane? And Mike Wilkerson says the Zencastr drift and vanish points instantly means no go. Vanish points, you mean it's like there's spots where there's gaps? Because that's never happened to me on Zencastr. Anyway, Andy, did we answer your question about Clean Feed and Zencastr and Squadcast? If you have a more specific question, please type it. And for everyone else here, we're going to solve your problems today. So what is your number one biggest problem in podcasting? Ralph's going to solve it. So Ben Downs from the Travel Man podcast said lining up guests is one of his big problems. That's his biggest problem, lining up guests. Ralph, solve it.
I think the solve to that is don't be the only person lining up guests for you. Use your connections not just to get guests, but to have them go out and solicit guests, qualified guests for you. That's kind of why I was talking about the Suddenly Single show before, because my friend Danielle, who is the host of that podcast, she is looking for a very, very specific kind of guest. And instead of taking on that pressure on her own, she's reaching out to her colleagues and friends that she trusts to help with make it a collaborative effort. And of course, I brought not one but two potential guests to her today. And I think that's something that you might want to consider, is not just going out there and trying to find those guests, but maybe cultivating relationships with people that have access to the kinds of guests that you want. And, if you on your own isn't as good as you plus 2 or 3 or 5 other people.
Yeah. And Eric Hunley says use previous guests to get other new guests.
Yeah.
I burped. Did you hear me?
No.
Because I muted myself.
So did you read that tweet that I sent you from Mohammed Saeed?
No.
Oh, so I sent you a tweet earlier today. One of the guys who is one of the key guys at Laravel, which is a programming framework, he posted something on Twitter today, and he basically said, "Are these any good?" And he had a link to an Amazon page that had those egg carton foam things on them. And I responded. I said, "Well, yeah." And no, potentially. I mean, it really depends. The size of your room, the shape of your room, the stuff that's in your room. At the end of the day, what I suggested to him was that there are a lot of things that he can do before he starts investing in these really ugly panels, because this was his primary concern, was putting these like egg carton, those dark colored things on his wall. And now all of a sudden his room, you have those back there. But that's far enough away from you that it doesn't really look like that. It just looks like the wall is that color, but it could really make a room look really nasty if not done well.
Yeah, but so, it's supposed to look like a studio. Not
but I don't think that's what he's looking to do. He's looking to have a place where he can record comfortably and at a good level of quality.
Right.
So what I said was, before you invest in those little egg carton things, there's probably some things that you can do. If you have wood floors, maybe getting like an area rug will help soften the sound. If you don't have window treatments, maybe add some window treatments. Try to soften the room first, because he's not a professional podcaster. He does, he produces content for Laravel for a very specific niche audience, but he wants the quality of his audio to improve. So I made a couple of suggestions. I sent him a couple of pictures of different types of treatments and acoustics. So I'm going to throw this at you, Chris. In a small room, a standard, small to medium size home office room where someone's recording their podcast. And I'm going to look up the mic for you, because this is where I wanted to kind of get some of your feedback. Hey, Podcastage.
What's up, Andrew?
What would be your thought for the average home office room where somebody wants to soften or improve the quality of the sound?
What would I suggest they put in the room?
Yeah, without having a whole lot of information, what would you say would be some good things to think about?
Well, first of all, is it going to be used for podcasting or video?
It's going to be used for video, and that was
Because here's the problem.
Because I'm gonna tell you what mic he's using in a second once I find it here, and I think that's going to have an impact. But I don't want to tell you about the mic yet.
Okay, here's the thing. When you talk about a room being reverby or echoey or that kind of thing, there's two parts to that. The first part is actually the person's mouth being close to the microphone. That's important. That is so important. That literally makes up, I would say, 50% or more of the whole solution. So first of all, that's key. That's why I'm saying when people do video, they want to wear these lav mics or they want to put the mic like 3 feet away.
Right.
As soon as you do anything like that, you're screwed if your room isn't perfect. Okay?
Right.
So, but if you do want a mic that's far away and you're in a room and you want to do video and look cool, whatever, okay, then you got to treat the room. And everything you said applies. Carpeting on the floor, any big furniture, like those big puffy couches and stuff, those are good. Curtains, window treatments, like you said. Also anything just irregular, like bookshelves and the more angles and weird angles and things you have, that diffuses the sound and it helps actually.
Right.
So the soft items are the best, and then you got foam. And look, if you want foam to really look good, you can, there are companies that make foam that look good, but it's not the best foam to deaden the sound.
Right.
And Shane Whaley here is asking, he's looking to turn his closet into a studio. What's the best kind of treatment? Shane, in the course, because Shane is a graduate of PES, I gave you a link to the foam that I bought, which is, I think it's 2.5 inches thick or 3.5, and it's egg crate foam, but a whole big sheet is only $46. Like a 6 foot by 6 foot sheet, huge, $47. When you go buy any other thing for the wall, you'll buy like a 1 foot by 1 foot panel. It'll be like $29. So you could buy 2 of them, or you buy some. I keep pointing in the wrong direction. So yeah, so that's what you can do, and that's it. That's all you can do.
All right, I'm going to post the mic in the chat. This is the mic that he's currently using. I've actually not had any experience with this mic.
Mike Wilkerson, how about the biggest problem is any person ever that assumes that they can do anything like podcasting, vlogging, whatever else, with the least amount of money possible / for free. Yeah, that, of course. Thanks for pointing that out, Mike. Yeah.
So this is the Razer, I don't know how to pronounce that, Siren X. It looks like it's a condenser USB mic.
Wait, hold on.
And I'm going to post the Twitter thread on.
Angela, you sent me some stuff. I don't know if I can. I'll try and read that as soon as I can. I was trying to look up this mic. Razer Siren X.
Yeah, condenser USB. So I think that probably, because there's 2 challenges that he's trying to overcome. The first is he's getting a lot of reverb, which I think softening the room will help a lot with that. And the second thing that he's getting is he's getting a lot of background noise. So if somebody's in another room, hammering away at something or doing something, he's getting that that kind of feedback.
Yeah,
not feedback. Sorry, I mean he's getting that noise.
The noise bleed and the room noise and the reverb, and that's what you get with a condenser mic. That's why condenser microphones are not recommended for podcasting, especially.
Right.
For video, it's different. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you 2 questions, Chris, since we're solving problems here.
Yes.
If you had to, what would be an economical dynamic microphone that would be good for, your average run-of-the-mill video streaming kind of recording? And the part 2 to that is, do you think if somebody, because you and I, you can see our mics, on air. Some people don't like that. Some people want to have the mic, completely off screen. So in a situation like that, do you think a shotgun mic is the right approach?
I don't know, man. Like, see, my first questions would be, where do you want the mic? Okay, like you said, you and I are talking into our mic.
I think the answer to that is he just wants it off frame.
Off frame. Well, off frame, that's tough.
Yeah, right. Which
So
is why I was talking about
if he wants it off frame, first of all, that's terrible. Second of all, before I put a mic off frame, I'm going to wear a lavalier mic.
Okay.
So because that's closer.
But what about a shotgun? What about a decent shotgun?
No, you can get a shotgun, but shotgun mics, they're not magic. They don't just solve all the problems of your room and everything. It doesn't solve all the problems.
Don't tell Andrew that.
Hey, Bandrew, did you review that mic, the Siren? What were we looking at?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I didn't even think to ask. I'm wondering
the Siren X. Yeah, it's a condenser.
Yeah, I don't think he would do a condenser mic.
No.
He's reviewing, $8 million microphones.
No, he does all mics.
I know. I'm pulling your leg.
Oh.
It would be great, though, to hear him review that particular one, because that one is particularly challenging.
Well, but on some level, though, it's just another condenser. Like, it might sound slightly different, but dude, it's going to still pick up, any condenser is going to pick up everything, all the room noise, the family in the next room. And Eric Hunley says, wouldn't just getting a Samson Q2U be better choice? Well, but this is the problem. People who want to look good on video.
Can you pull that up in the browser, the Samson QU2?
Sure.
Oh, podcastage. He did review it, he said.
Yeah. See, he reviewed it.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. All right.
What am I pulling up? Oh.
Samson something or the other. Q2U.
Yeah. And then now they have the Q9U.
This is a dynamic mic, right?
Which one?
The Q2U?
Oh, yeah. The Q2U is dynamic.
Yeah,
Your Heil PR40 is dynamic. The mic I'm using, though, is a condenser.
The one you're using right now?
Yep, it's a Rode NT1.
I can't work like this. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is the Samson Q2U. So this is, look, that one and the ATR 2100 would be great. Gary, what's up, dude?
All right, so this one and what'd you say, the 2100?
Yeah, the ATR 2100, although there's a new one of those, too.
Let's pull up that one in a tab.
Okay. Oh, and I think this is the one, wait a minute. This is the one that's now, is it still available, though, the regular one, or now there's an X or something?
So the challenge with these two is going to remain, which is that you really have to be on top of them to get good audio. Because that's the other thing he mentioned in that little chat stream, is that what he's doing to compensate for the fact that he's moving farther away from the microphone is he's amping up the gain. So he keeps pumping the gain to try to get, his recording. And of course, the side effect of that, of course, is that then all the background stuff just gets magnified.
Yeah, it's signal to noise ratio. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Signal is the person's voice, and the noise is the noise.
You can do things like, for example, you can bring this down a little bit if you tweak it. Like if you don't want it to be right on top of you, which mine is, you can move this around a little bit, if you wanted to. I mean, obviously you have to adjust your gain because my voice here is going to be significantly different than my voice over here. Yeah. But, I think that, I guess where I'm landing on this is, I don't think it's a problem for people to see your microphone while you're doing stuff. If the audio is important, because for me, I mean, I watch his stuff, but I typically, a lot of the times, I'm actually not watching it. I'll actually have like a tab open or something. I'm listening to it more than watching it. And, he does do code samples and things like that. So, that's important. But I still think that he's not losing anything, and hopefully he's not getting offended that I'm mentioning this. But I don't think he's losing anything by having a microphone on the screen. I think, however, the inverse of that is if the audio quality is much better, and he doesn't have to amp up the gain in order to get his voice to be clear and appealing. I think that's way better, way better.
Yeah. So that's So he can get a lav or have the mic on screen, and yeah, whatever.
Hey, Bandrew, if you have, I don't know if you can whip up a link to that review that you did on that microphone, but if you can pop it into the chat, that'd be great.
Yeah, and Shane, good quote from Shane Whaley. His wife is the morning host for Vermont Public Radio Classical. She has to work from home, and she records her stuff using an ATR 2100 into an H6 in the closet. The quality is good enough for broadcast. Absolutely.
Yeah, Andrew just said audio is more important than video, and I think that's true. I think that's true. I consume a lot of content on YouTube, and a good chunk of it I don't even watch the video. I just listen to it.
Right. Wait, Bandrew, what can't you post? Your well, anyway, yeah, tweet it might be better.
Yeah, Bandrew, it's Ralph M. Rivera. My Twitter, Ralph M. Rivera.
Mike Wilkerson says, how about the biggest problem is people anywhere, anytime that can't listen to someone else say something and not be instantly offended by it?
Whoa,
that's a content
come
thing.
on, man.
Mike Wilkerson, what?
Whoa. How do we bring this show down to this level, Mike Wilkerson? I am so enraged right now. My God.
Here's one thing about people who video people who don't want the mic in the frame. Look at everybody else that has decent audio. What about Joe Rogan? Is his mic off frame?
Right.
That guy is killing all of you everywhere, every day, ever. So what's the problem?
And he's sitting right on top of his microphone too, which he's doing. He's got good microphone technique.
He's got good technique. What I would suggest for him is he has it almost pointed straight up. I would tell him angle it a little bit at least, like that, because it wouldn't affect the video part of it if he angled it a little more. It wouldn't look any different,
right?
But it would pick up more of his direct.
And what I would say to Muhammad here is, I would say that depending on what his budget is, those last two that we saw, those are kind of lower on the price scale. But if he has the budget for it, that SM7B, the one that Joe Rogan uses, very ideal, very good microphone. Highly approve of that microphone.
Yeah. But look at this. You're not seeing the screen? Oh wait, hold on. Look at what Daniel Hager wrote. This is great. Can you see that, or is it too small?
Yeah, you know what? I saw this before. The SM7B was a waste of money.
Yeah.
His signal chain is the microphone into a small Yamaha mixer, then using the mains. Oh, I can't even read that. That's awful.
He took the mains out of a mixer and then went into a cloud lifter.
and then into a Scarlett.
Yeah.
That should not. That's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
I hope that you said something to that person, because, I mean, I don't. The purpose of this is not to be mean, so I don't mean to be mean, but just based on what I'm seeing here, it seems like that person just doesn't know any better. Like they're just plugging in ins and outs, and they don't know any better.
Yeah. No, Yeah, that's what you have online, right? You have people who are. They have an experience and they might know a few things, and then they just give their opinion, and okay.
Right.
I just realized I haven't put any comments up on the screen, because Bandrew says,
look at that.
He would recommend that Joe Rogan stops using the Behringer mixer to drive the SM7Bs. I know. Well, that's the other thing. Yeah.
We should probably point out that the last time I was on the lounge, I reported to everybody that Bandrew lives in the United Kingdom, in Stonehenge.
Okay.
Yeah, he's moved though. He's moved. He now lives in the Eiffel Tower at the very top.
Yeah. Bandrew lives in an upstairs apartment in Cork, Ireland that has there's a bar underneath where he lives, and he had the bar run a line up through the wall of Murphy's Irish Stout. So he has a tap in his flat, just Murphy's Irish Stout all day long.
All of that sounds very, very reasonable to me.
That person has a can-do attitude with a can't-do aptitude.
Well, let's not make fun of them. Let's not make fun of them if they don't know any better, because that's very common. That's very common. The whole reason why we were talking before about who's writing the book, Angela.
Yeah.
Angela was talking about her book. You know, the reason Angela's writing that book is because people need that book. People need to learn about podcasting. Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm laughing at the comment. Sorry.
Oh,
Keep
all right.
going, keep going.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people see podcasting, want to get into it, want to participate, and they just don't know any better. And you know, we were all there at some point. So, well, except for Chris. Chris was born. He came out of the womb with a mixer and headphones. You know, baby Chris coming out of the womb with like his big Sennheiser microphones. You know, a couple of SN7Bs in his hand already.
As soon as I came out, I asked him to move a couple of the mics to the left.
That's right. That's right.
30 degrees. Yeah. And by the way, Mike McCallan is here. Everyone, type 1 in the chat if you want to give a bro hug to Mike McCallan.
Mike McCallan. I missed him. We were supposed to see him this April in Las Vegas.
Oh, I know. That was supposed to be like last week or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Admiral. Hey, you're going to be getting a lot of hugs, Mike McCallan.
He's very huggable. Well, if
He's going to hug himself. He just said yes. Oh.
Everybody should know, though, you have to reach up to hug him because he's very tall.
So, by the way, if you're new here in the lounge, say hello in the chat. Also, tell us what your show is. If you have a podcast and you haven't told us yet, please tell us the name of your show and all that. And also, we're solving people's problems. Where are we on the list of solving problems here, Ralph? Lining up guests. Oh, one thing. So for Ben from the Travel Man podcast, lining up guests, and Ralph, you gave a lot of good information. The other thing I would say is just reach out to a lot of people. Like put it in your calendar for like spend an hour a week where you're just literally emailing people, and you know what I mean? Like just put it in your calendar, spend a little focused effort every week doing it. And I think that would have great results.
I think the other thing in line with that is podcasters who are looking to get guests on their show should understand that not every request is going to conclude with a yes. So don't assume that just because you ask somebody to be on their show, it might not be the right time for them. It might not be a good fit for them. So don't expect them to say yes. Expect that some people at least are going to say no.
Yeah, most will say no. The other thing is don't be afraid to reach out to people of higher stature or companies. Like I actually have two of my episodes that are coming out soon. Hold on a second. I gotta give you the right info here.
Ooh, wake up and be intentional. I like that.
Martins from SonarWorks is going to be on an episode of my show. It's already done and scheduled. And also Hannes Anderson from OX Sound that makes the Soothe plugin. Dude, that's in the next 3 weeks. Those 2 episodes are coming out on my show. And so my point of saying that is I just reached out to them. I'm like, hey, can one of your guys come on my show? And they're like, okay. It took a while.
Yeah.
And then of course, once the stupid virus hit, things got weird, but it happened. And so attitude of just, I'm going to get a bunch of guests and I'm going to get good guests. And
I've booked guests on your show. I got you Curtis Judd.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to get you the Isotope guys.
Yeah. Oh, please. Gary says OX Sound is so good. Yeah. And it's not Oak Sound. It's OX Sound. I talked with them on the show. You're going to hear it. Cause they're based in Helsinki, Finland, Ralph, we got to go to Helsinki, Finland, dude.
I would love to go to Helsinki, Finland.
I mean, besides Ireland and New Zealand, I don't know where else I would want to go. At the coast of Norway.
I want to go to Copenhagen. I want to go to the Hindenburg offices. That's what I want to do.
Well, dude, we'll make a trip. We'll hit all the spots on the way.
You don't have to bend my arm.
Wait, hold on a second. Angela, you lost 182 pounds. You're a marketing coach, business strategist, and I believe in being intentional in business and purpose, personal and business.
Angela, if you're on Facebook, just shoot me a friend request. I want to get you on there.
Yeah, OX Sound. Yep. And Mike McCallan from Oakland, California. What?
Soothe.
Oh, Soothe 2 is just so good, dude. Oh, and I got 2 other plugins, which I'm like, if you know how many plugins I have and that I try, and literally in the last 2 weeks, I've tried 2. I have 2 new plugins that are just phenomenal. Like it's just
I think
awesome.
Last count, you have 3 plugins altogether?
Oh God, no way. So Facebook user, come visit the Autobahn By the way, Facebook user, you can give Facebook permission. In the post, you'll see a little link. Click the link, give Facebook permission. We'll see your actual real name and picture. I drove on the Autobahn once. I drove a rental car. And you know what's funny? When I was driving in Germany on the Autobahn, it started misting a little. And I didn't turn on the wipers, but the rental car we had must have had some sensor. It sensed that there was a little mist, and the wipers came on by themselves, and then they didn't come on for like another 2-3 minutes, and then it did one. I'd never seen that before, and I was like, that is cool.
That's nice. That's nice. You know, my car, we just got a new car, and my car does all kinds of really neat things. It does like automatically opening, unlocking doors and locking doors. I just walk up to it and it knows it's me.
Oh, it's Daniel Hager.
Awesome. Hey,
yeah,
Daniel.
that was you, brother. Yeah, we talked about your post earlier. Magic Chris. Okay, so lining up guests.
Hold on. Is Daniel, is that the one that posted the thing about the, that weird signal chain before?
I think so.
Yeah. So Daniel, do you just put in the chat? Do you know that person? Like, are you friends with them, or is that just something that you heard? Oh, look who's there, Marcus DePaula. I have to tell you something about Marcus DePaula in a second.
And by the way, this is the greatest reply here. This is great. Watch this. First of all, I was like, and then he's like, guess what? He then compared it to the Blue Yeti, and then I said, I want that guy on my show, and then wait. Daniel says, Chris Kern, hit him up. He puts the actual video, and he tweeted.
Oh, it's a video.
Yeah, it's a video, and he tweeted with me and the guy. So who knows? I might get this guy on my show, dude.
Oh, that would be fantastic. So hold on a second. That then kind of reduces my argument from before, which was that maybe this person just didn't know any better. This person looks like they're are they like a pro level?
I don't know.
Content creator?
I haven't watched the video.
Because that significantly changes this whole signal chain if he is.
Yeah, Gary had so many plugins, and then he went to buy one last week because it looked dope, and then they got this nagging feeling, so I looked and I already owned it. Oh, yeah. That's happened to me once or twice for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, Daniel says, no, he's just a tech. He's just a no tech YouTube. They do mostly computer and gaming related stuff. There you go.
Yeah, that's weird. I would like to see you have a conversation with him.
That's a good example of someone who's in a tech field trying to talk about audio production, but they might know, he might know a little, but maybe not so much. And sometimes when you know a little, it's just enough to hurt yourself.
Well, we all know a little bit about stuff, but we all don't necessarily know important stuff about other things.
Right.
There's lots of things that I don't know.
All right. So lining up the guests, did we solve that in the chat? Did we solve that one, lining up guests, or do we need to go further? Because we will solve this thing. Don't make me.
We will beat a dead horse.
What? He's like 2+ million people.
God.
Oh, I got to get him on my show then.
Oh, that's so, I don't even know how to respond to that.
I'm such a fame whore. Jeremy Dennis, what's up, man? Oh, it's a PC-based channel. Yeah, building computers. Okay. All right. So I think we solved it.
All right, we could put a pin in that one. So let me tell you a little fight that I've been having with a friend of mine. I don't want to say who this person's name is, so I'll just make up a name. The made-up name is Narcus Napala.
Okay.
One of the things that he does that drives me absolutely bat crazy is he doesn't set the LUFS on his files. So when he produces his shows, like if I'm listening to one of his shows, I could be listening to 5 different podcasts back to back. And since they're all, and not that all podcasts are at the appropriate LUFS level, but as it so happens, the ones that I listen to are. So, his comes on, all of a sudden it blows my headphones off my ears because it's so loud. And I'm like, dude, it takes one click of the mouse to get that to the appropriate LUFS level, and he will not bite on that. He is committed to not being at the LUFS level. My friend Narcus.
Yeah. So what? I forget. Did he? I think he said what LUFS level he publishes at. I forget.
He does it by eye.
Oh. Okay. So by the way, Jin Yoon, welcome to the lounge, man.
Look at you. You're just gonna skim over that one.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
I am going to give him a hard time about that forever.
Of course, you should.
That's my job.
Everyone's assuming that their standards are someone else's requirements and vice versa. Yeah. All right. So we're done with that one. Let's solve our next problem, shall we? Motivation and accountability. This is from Angela. Anyone else in the chat have any problem with motivation and accountability regarding your podcast? Oh, wait. Daniel says he has a tip for reaching out to guests. He uses a CRM and makes a list of potential guests and then sets up a few outreach emails and follows up until either they respond or have received at least 5 emails over 2 months and have not responded. So, yeah, organize it, dude. Pound it. I mean, yeah, pound it.
That sounds a little spammy to me, but
well, yeah, but see, you don't. It depends how you do it. If you do it nicely and gently and respectfully, I'm okay with that. I don't,
like being on a first date.
Because you could tell when you get an email, you can tell the vibe if it's just a spam email, even if it's someone literally typing. Even if it's not a form email, like if it's just someone typing, you can tell when they're just superficial and they just want to sell you crap.
Right.
That's it. But you can also tell when someone's like genuine, like, hey man, I got a podcast. I'd love to have you on as a guest. And I'd love to talk about X, Y, and Z. Anyway, if you're not too busy, let's do it. And then just, following up 5 times is, again, if you do it respectfully, I think it could be done. Do you disagree with that, Ralph? Or do you think 5 always equals spammy?
5 over 2 months is a little might
5 is a little spammy.
Yeah, it's a little much for me. But I'm not
okay.
I'm not right on everything.
I hear you. But again, the way it's done. See, so I bet. All right, here's what we need. Daniel Hager. We put Ralph's email in the chat before. I'll do it again now. Send Ralph 5 emails to be on your show. Let's do it.
Yeah. Try to pitch me onto your show.
Try to pitch Ralph.
Ooh, I love that. What a great idea, Chris. What are you doing?
All right.
What are you doing over there?
All right. No, I'm typing in your email. All right. Everybody email Ralph now. Do it. All right. Maybe not now. Oh, and most CRMs give you the ability, the read, not read ability. If 2 go by and no reads, then it's time to call them or move on to the next. So there you go. If they don't read it, makes sense. Yeah. Angela says, if it was her looking for guests, you talk about what's in it for them. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. 2 to 3 in sales, 2 to 3 emails a week is creating connective tissue. That's Mike Wilkerson. All right. So because I was recording a show, and by the way, I don't know what it is with the lounge today. We literally have twice the number of viewers that we normally have. So happy to have you here. I hope you're chilling. Hope you're drinking something wet and nutritious. Is water considered a nutrient? I would say no. All right. Anyway, Ralph, can you handle this for a minute while I go?
You're gonna go tinkle?
I'm gonna go do something. I'll just be right back real quick.
All right.
Yeah, Ralph Rivera. So Mike McCallan, talk with Ralph.
Go tinkle.
I'll be right.
Hey, you guys in the chat, let me know if you guys have had any COVID-19 testing done. I actually had a COVID-19 test done yesterday here in the state of Tennessee where I'm at. We started doing free testing for people who live in this town. And I got lucky enough to go down and get a test. It was unpleasant, but it was good to do. I actually had the nasal molecule thing where they stick a 6-inch thing into your nose and basically rub it up against your brain matter. And I wouldn't say it hurts, but I would say that it's not something I ever want to do again. So if anybody has that going on in their town, drop it in the links there in the comment section. Let's see. Bandrew, I had no testing done because I don't want the government to control my mind, bro. Yeah, good point. Good point. Tried and was told none available. Matthew, what state are you in? Because I know a couple of buddies of mine in New York. They tried to do the same thing, and they had to have an appointment, and they had a lot of trouble getting that done. So I'm curious what state you're in. And Bandrew, you don't have to put what state you're in because we all know you're in France. Oh, here comes Chris. Wait for it. Wait for it. And that's how babies are made.
All right.
Yeah, I went through the whole birds and bees.
Did everybody take it easy on Ralph while I was gone, or did they just pound you?
No, they're good. They're good. The children were very well behaved.
Speaking of pounding, I recently
Wow. Mike McCallum must be in the room.
I recently watched a reaction video on YouTube of this heavy band. Their name is Ginger. I've heard that name for a while. I actually heard a little bit of their music and I wasn't that into it, but I watched a reaction and this song they played in this reaction was like the drumming and the guitar and the bass were sick. I mean, the singer, she's a really good singer. But Jim Collison, who is CL at Podcasters Toolbox?
That would be the CEO of the company and also my wife.
Yeah, Carolyn Rivera, CL at Podcasters. Yeah, email her too, everybody.
Yeah, just why the hell not?
Say hi.
It's Wednesday. It's good. It's all good.
Send her. What can you send? Can you send money in an email?
If you have a Venmo account, sure, why not?
Right. Send her money. Then.
Send her some Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin. No, I wanted to play part of this heavy song for you, but I don't know. What's the heaviest music you listen to, Ralph? Or have ever listened to in your life?
Well, I like the I'm drawing a blank on the album that you recommended to me recently. I'm drawing a blank. The one where the guy was the drummer guy. We had a whole conversation about
Tool.
Tool. Oh God, I couldn't remember. What was the name of the album again? Their latest one?
Fear Inoculum.
Yes, that one. That's pretty neat.
Okay.
Enjoyed that pretty much.
Do you guys want to? Can I show you this heavy thing? You want to hear this heavy thing for a second? Not the whole song. We're not going to do. Remember, we played the whole Tool song, 16.5-minute song. Maybe you weren't here, Ralph. But Mike McCallum says Metallica. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, Mike Wilkerson. So a Tool drum cover. Yeah. There's some young women and men young people who are really just killing the drums, like for real killing. All right, let me pause this. Let me show you this, Ralph. I'm curious what you think about this because I would consider this. Wait a minute. Where am I? Okay. What I'm about to play, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can all see the name and you can go find it on YouTube if you want to see it. But this to me is like heavy. Like there's Metallica heavy. And then much heavier than that is like some of the bands like Death, and there's a bunch that it's like growling, some singing, but and then just it's really heavy. Like it feels like if it was literally Armageddon and we were like all the humans had to come together to fight some alien race, like something like this is the heaviness that I would feel when I'm going to fight these people. So make sure you can hear this. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Dankeschön, Germany. Well, with the next song, we must say goodbye to you. But rather not goodbye, but see you next time.
Look at that neck tat.
I know. Her whole neck. I'd love to see Ralph as the singer of a band like this. So it starts out fast, but then it does slow down, but it gets heavy, yeah.
But for what shall last?
All right.
Sorry.
It gets better.
Exhausted nights, always so tragic and so it's alone. While spectacular shadows, wretched hills are so. Death rolls on slowly, crawling to our toes. As the last lift is falling up our life.
I'm here with her. I'm dressed.
All right, I'm gonna stop it because I don't know if like I mean we can do reaction videos and stuff. Like I don't think we'll get banned for playing this, but so this is like the little mellow part. But then when they come back into the heavy part, check it out, and then we'll stop it. We're not gonna watch the whole thing.
If you can ask on my breast, we'll shadow the ice to let the landscapes do the same. I love your world, why I prefer to sleep a cold alone. We fix our eyes up to the sky to see you fly, set us farewell.
Right here.
I will see each other next time. So please, come back to celebrate this.
Oh, I love that shot.
Oh man, that's just like when I heard that, I was like, here's the thing. A lot of times I'll hear heavy bands, and some bands are heavy, but it's just not that good. Like I don't know, like anyone can make up heavy riffs and stuff, but like it doesn't hit you. Like it doesn't hit you. But this, I heard this, and like her growling. I don't love it. It's okay. I don't love it, but she's a phenomenal singer. You could tell the tone of her voice, the power in her voice, the pitch, all that. But
Yeah.
But
You got that right, Andrew.
yeah. But the thing is, like those riffs and that drum beat and the bass, that's sick, dude. Like that's heavy. Like that. Yeah, that's some heavy stuff right there. Okay, enough of that. Okay, did everyone have fun with that? All right, we're supposed to be solving your problems on stream.
So Jeff, I don't know how to pronounce it. Paquette, P-O-Q-U-E-T-T-E. Have you ever had a guest agree to be on your you schedule, outline, prepare, and they literally chicken out right before recording all the time? As a matter of fact, the person I was talking to before, Danielle from the Suddenly Single podcast, that's one of her big challenges because her podcast deals with some real heavy content matter. You know, people who are going through divorce or death or, you know, serious injury. And, you know, people sometimes they get psyched up to be on that show and all of a sudden at the last minute, boom, they drop out. And it's not just her alone. It happens to everybody. I don't know that that's ever happened to you. Has anybody ever dropped out last minute for you? We lost your audio, Chris.
Oh, sorry. I was muted. Yeah, no, that has really never happened to me. I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean, some people, like I've had people forget that there's a session, but having someone, you know, chicken out. I've never had anyone chicken out. I mean, so part of that, it's the way you frame it to the guest. Like when you approach a guest to be on a show, you have to frame it like, this is a big deal. This is important. This isn't something that you can just decide not to do later. Like this is serious. Like we're literally, if we're going to book you on the show, you're booked on the show. And like, you don't have to say it like that, obviously, but that's the attitude you got to give these people. Like,
Right.
this is serious. Are you going to be on the show? Yeah. Okay. We'll do it. And
Treat it like a business, not a hobby.
yeah, that's it. Because if it's a hobby, then people are like, I don't feel like it's like going to a party. You know, like on a Saturday night, you might be invited to a party, and you might want to go to the party for the whole week, and then Saturday rolls around, and you're like, I'm not going. But
Right.
anyway, see, I'm all wound up from that song. Banjo said, listen to Meshuggah. Oh, Bleed. Yeah, I've heard Meshuggah before. They didn't hit me Yeah, it wasn't my favorite flavor of rock and metal. But heavy as no. But the real deal for sure. Meshuggah is the real deal. They're heavy, dude. They're really heavy. All right. So what the next problem we're going to solve is motivation and accountability. Did we solve that one for Angela? All right, Angela. Yeah. Specifically, what are you having trouble with in terms of motivation and accountability? So those are two different things. Motivation, are you just not, like, you have work to do, but you're just not doing it? Or is it something different? I mean, that's happening to me in this quarantine. Like I have so much I could do, but some days it's like, I just don't do anything or I do, or for parts of days, I don't do anything. Yeah. She's saying yes. How do you feel about that, Ralph?
One of the things that I've done recently, because on our podcast, we talk a lot about productivity and productivity tools. And one of the things that I've done over the past, I'd say 6 months, is I've picked up the bullet journal. It's called the bullet journal method, which is basically pen and paper. I've gone back to just pen and paper to just, get myself organized, get myself motivated, have a very clear direction for what I need to do and where I need to go. And, I've tried a lot of different electronic tools for managing productivity. And I feel like I've kind of turned a corner and had a complete paradigm shift with this bullet journal method.
There you go. Yeah. Get serious, write it down, get serious and get it done. And so I don't understand this though. You said you're not having the engagement as I am hosting it. What does that mean? Like while what kind of engagement are you talking about? Like social media engagement, or like, are you streaming live when you're recording and you want engagement there? So yeah, motivation. I mean, see, different things motivate different people. Like I'm a person who I am motivated by very large goals. So if you want to do a project with me, I mean, if the goal is really high, like a good example is the International Podcast Association that I was sort of involved in creating. Yeah. Like that to me, that's a global thing. Huge. I loved it. See, that motivates me. But some people, a big goal like that will scare them and they won't do anything. So some people do better in small steps, attainable goals. And people like me though, I gotta go for something that's 15 years in the future and the biggest thing ever. Like that's what gets me motivated. All right. Daniel says, beware. I'm using everything Ralph is saying to form beautifully engaging outreach emails. Dude.
Smart man.
All right.
Angela, you can use that to your advantage. You can have people listen to your show and then give you feedback, and then you can interact with them, even though it's not strictly speaking real-time interaction. You can still do it. You can have them call you, email you, comment on your various social media, and then talk to them directly. I always say that one of the best podcasts is the podcast that's has an audience of one. Just make every single person that's listening to your podcast feel like they're the one person that you're dedicating your show to. So if someone posts something to you on social media or sends you an email, just talk to them. Talk to that person and make them kind of the focal point of your episode.
So yeah, okay. So what you're talking about is when you're alone, like when you stream live, you can see the people on there, so that motivates you and you're happy. Mm-hmm. But when you're podcasting, you're alone, so then it's like that. Have you listened to any of my Daily Goody episodes on the Podcast Engineering Show? Because those, it's a monologue. I'm alone, but I just talk and I have fun, and they're not that long, 25 minutes around.
But what's nice about those too is that those are a digest of content that you've already published. So sometimes you get feedback on those posts that you've already made, and you're not just reading verbatim the stuff that you've already posted. You're kind of you're spicing it up in a way, and you're also sometimes reacting to things that people have said as a result of those daily goodies. So it's a good way to repurpose content and also get people engaged in the thing that you're talking about.
Right. So when you're doing it alone, Angela, one thing you could do, again, it's sort of reiterating from the motivation topic we just talked about, set a goal for yourself. Like, for instance, when I started my show, which is the Podcast Engineering Show, I had a vision. I knew I wanted to be the show where we got really into the audio engineering aspects of podcast production. And there was no show like that. So for me, the motivation was, I'm going to do this. No one's doing it. And I'm equipped to do it. I'm better equipped than most people to do it. So I said, I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to do it. And the other part of my motivation was that it was part of my school. So I want to promote my school. So I want to build a show and get listeners and give content to grow my school. And of course, I knew that it's going to take years. It doesn't take days or months. It takes years. And so that just kept me like just working to build that vision that I had. So then the question for you, Angela, is what is your vision? Not just in terms of the podcast, like, okay, you could put out a podcast every week or every other week. That's one thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about 3 years from now, if everything goes perfectly for you, what does your reality look like? In terms of your show, in terms of your business, in terms of your income. Write it down. Get your bullet journal like Ralph has. Anyway, that's one possibility. Yeah. And I always remember something Tony Robbins said too. He's like, he was talking because he was talking about motivation. Like Tony Robbins, by the way, is like, especially some of his older books, like Awaken the Giant Within was one of my favorite books. But one thing he was talking about, like psychologically adjusting yourself to be ready to go toward your goals. And he gives the example then he said that it's not always about adjusting your point of view or adjusting your attitudes. Like there are times when it comes down to like, you just got to do it. And his example was a person who needs to, let's say there's a person, and I think Angela, you may have mentioned this, that you lost a lot of weight. Let's say there's a person who needs to lose 250 pounds. Okay. They're 250 pounds overweight. And Tony Robbins was like, if that person thinks, oh, I have to get my attitude right, I have to do all this, and oh, I'm not ready to do that, I got to read this book first to get my attitude right and do that. And Tony Robbins said, no, what you need is someone behind you yelling, run. Like, that's what that person needs. Like, you don't need to intellectualize that too much. That person who needs to lose that much weight, they just got to run. Just do it. Like, scream at yourself. Just do it. And again, I'm just telling that story. I know it doesn't perfectly apply to you, Angela, but that's what happens in life is a lot of people, they think about something for so long and they want everything to be perfect before they start. And then you just got to start. So Matthew Stephen Pierce, what's up, man? My goal or my vision has always been to just have a place to have a good conversation. Am I being ridiculous with that goal? No, of course not.
Not at all.
That's it. Have a place to have good conversation. That's it. You can set that up in about probably an hour. And then you achieve your goal. And by the way, I'm sort of pointing out one of the things about goals is you have to be specific, right? So saying, I want to have a place with good conversation. Okay. So Matthew, here's what I want you to do right now. What do you want to do, Matthew? Do you want to have a Facebook group? Do you want to have a podcast? Do you want to do a live stream? Do you want to have videos on YouTube? Or where do you want this good conversation to happen? That would be my question to you.
And who do you want to have that conversation with?
There you go. All right. That's it. Did we solve all the problems?
We did it, Chris.
No.
COVID
we didn't talk about
conquered.
We didn't talk about my problem, which we're not going to actually, but we didn't talk about your problem either, Ralph. What's your
Oh,
problem?
boy.
What's your biggest problem?
You know what? A little bit of penicillin, it'll be fine. Just give me like 7 days.
I mean, some people have written me emails saying that they keep refreshing Ralph and Rivera's podcast feed, and there's nothing there.
I know. That has been a subject of conversation at the Rivera house over the past couple of days.
See, yeah, it's like I wish I could sometimes I wish I could do that. Like people who want to start a podcast, not you, Ralph, obviously, but like let's say there's someone who wants to start a podcast, but they don't know enough or they don't have the guts to do it and whatever. I almost feel like saying, all right, I'm gonna call you at this time every week and we're just gonna run the recorder and then that's gonna be the episode.
Right.
Like that's what I feel like saying. I've never said that, but because that's what some people need, right? They need a little hand holding right in the beginning just to get it done. Like live streaming is like that too. Like some people are afraid of live streaming. Okay, Matthew has a podcast and you live stream it. Okay, honestly, I want to have conversations about everything. I love learning about new things and getting to know people individually. But as I try to improve my podcast, I'm having a hard time nailing down a good approach. Approach? What do you mean by approach? Because it sounds like if you just want to talk about cool things and you are doing that already.
What's the name of the show?
Yeah, what's the name of your show? So for Angela, that would work. Not so much you hold the button, but notice that Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there are accountability groups you can form. I've been part of many masterminds. So one thing you can do, Angela, is if you have, I'd say 4 or 5 people who want to really be held accountable and get serious, then you could start an accountability group that meets every week for an hour and just get it done. But even that, see, that doesn't solve all the problems, right? You still have to do the work. You still have to be motivated yourself. And because what happens in a lot of these accountability groups or mastermind groups is like, you'll meet for 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks will be great. The third week will be iffy. And someone doesn't show up on the third week. The fourth week, half the people don't show up. And then the 5th week, there'll be one more. But then it'll lose momentum. And then you never meet again. Pierce of Mind podcast.
They were live April 3rd at 9:09 p.m.
Pierce of Mind podcast. All right, you got where Stitcher. Where are we going? So I don't see your show in Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not getting it either here.
So, but I see it in Stitcher.
Let me try my podcatcher.
Is this it? Is this it, Matthew? This must be it, right? July 28th, 2019 was your last episode? All right. What was this a competition? You and Ralph here?
Yeah, I'm not getting it in my podcatcher.
Yeah. All right. See, part of an accountability group. All right. So Matthew, if you want to be in it, Angela, you want to be in it. That's good. That's a start. Is this your show here though? Is this what we're talking about? Please confirm. So, all right, let me scroll down. Well, this one, is there only one episode? There's only one episode.
Yeah, I don't
so
think
maybe
that's
it.
There's a Facebook feed.
Is it? Oh, same artwork though.
Yeah.
So
there it is.
Is this it? Okay. So you're calling it a podcast?
Are you only publishing this to Facebook streams, or is it an actual podcast?
All right, Matthew, please confirm all this, bro, while we're looking at it, or else we'll move on to another topic. But yeah, I mean, if you're just doing videos on Facebook, that's great, man. Go for it. Do it. Just keep rocking. That's it. See, the problem some people have is they say, this is what a lot of people say. Oh, I just want to have fun and chat and hang out. I want to have a good place to hang out and chat. And I want to discuss cool topics. Okay, fine. You're already doing that. But what people really want is a big audience and to make a lot of money. So you got to be honest with yourself. Do you want a big audience and make a lot of money? Or do you really just want a cool place to hang out and chat?
Right.
Be honest.
Also, we know now that the podcast inventory over at Apple has, as of about a week or two ago, exceeded 1 million podcasts. So there's a lot of people out there talking about a variety of different things. So the question becomes, who is your audience and why would they come to hear you talk about your subject matter? If that's important to you, maybe it's not important to you. But those are big questions to ask.
Yeah, and Mike Wilkerson brings this up, which is great. Are there any requirements for those joining the productivity group, or just more people in a circle of people talking about doing? Yeah, because that's what happens. A lot of time, even in an accountability group, everyone just talks. And then they show up the next week and it's like, well, did you do what you said you were going to do? Well, no, I'll do it this week. And it becomes nonsensical. That's why you got to have people who are serious, and you got to do it, or else, and you got to call everybody out too. If someone doesn't do their thing this week, you got to say, dude, what are you doing? Why are you here? Why am I here?
Right.
So he live stream hip hope to get people involved. Honestly, I don't care about making money. Sorry, big thumbs, poor typing, no problem. All right. And he always enjoys the lounge. Okay. Yeah. So Matthew, you're doing fine, bro. So what's the problem? I don't know. I don't understand the problem then. What is the problem? If you can tell us exactly, or maybe you don't have a problem. Daniel Abenroth says, I'm in a mastermind group for podcast editors, and we've been going strong for like 2 years now. Cool.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, that's the podcast editors mastermind, right? You guys do, Daniel, you guys do live streams and stuff. Yeah, that's cool, man. Very cool. So, Ralph.
Yes, my
wait.
love.
The culpability in a culpability group. I know how strange that sounds, but it's key to success. Yeah, I'm telling you. See, here's the thing about life. This is Ralph. Tell me what you think of this. Here, and this is why I hate all the political garbage and like all that crap. This is what life comes down to. Figure out what you want to do and just do it. That's it. Don't talk about doing it. Do it. That's it. It's going to be hard. Whatever you do is going to be hard. You just got to do it. Ralph?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
There's a million reasons why you could make excuses, but no one cares. No one cares about your excuses.
That is very true.
Angela says,
very,
I'd be
very
interested
true.
in accountability, and we could put silly challenges if you don't do it. You have to post something on your main Facebook, letting friends and family know you didn't get your shit done. We can make funny, entertaining consequences. That's true, but I don't know. You could try that. For me, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a group of people who are just not doing anything and slacking, I'm leaving. In fact, that's what happened with the IPA. We were talking and talking and talking months and months and months and months and months and months and talking and months and months, and it wasn't happening. And I'm like, I'm done. If no one's going to do anything, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing this. That's it. Yeah, we just started live streaming it and releasing the audio as a podcast. Oh, cool. Yeah, and Mike says, and if it is hard, still just do it and stop telling me why it didn't work. Yeah. One thing too is as far as getting stuff done is to give yourself little time frames. So Angela and everybody who with accountability, even if you set aside an hour, It could be an hour a week or an hour a day, whatever. But set aside an hour, and just to get yourself in practice, set aside an hour where you just knock shit out quickly. Just knocking shit out quickly.
Yeah,
For real quickly.
A really good book on this subject is Deep Work. That's a really good book to that kind of coincides with this topic. The idea of deep work is to kind of reduce all of the factors that impact your focus, and by reducing that, you kind of open up a lane where you can have these long, sustained, very highly productive periods of time where you'll get a lot done because you're reducing those interruptions and focusing very, very hyper specifically on a small thing. I think project management, one of the challenges with project management that a lot of people have is that they tend to think of something as a project, but a lot of times projects are actually lots of smaller projects that need to get kind of completed in some kind of a sequence. You know, if you say, I'm going to clean the shed, well, do you have the right materials? Do you have a broom? Do you have a mop? Do you have containers so that you can organize all that stuff? Because if you don't, then you're going to need to buy that stuff or somehow acquire that stuff. Those are projects. And if you start thinking about your big project and that big thing that you have to tackle, and you start kind of pulling it apart into its smaller components, that's going to help you get like all these little victories along the way to getting that one big thing done.
Right. 23 days ago, I got the automated robot message to pay or we'll shut off the responsibility of the group to someone else that's never attended anything. So I let it. Where was this in Meetup? Meetup.com? Mike, was this? He sent out messaging to everyone that in the group 3 times over the course of these days to see who's in and who's a ghost member. So when we meet up, we literally can't do legally doesn't go on. I have all of the connectivity to people that will give a shit. Yeah, meet up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, everybody talks and talks and talks. There are. Yeah. I'm not going to say there are few people who actually get things done, but because everybody on some degree gets things done. So that's, you know what I mean? There's things that each of you does in your life that you just do all the time and you're knocking it out. You're doing great. So we all have the habit for that.
Well,
Patrick Keller.
Speaking of habits, I'm going to reread this book, Atomic Habits. I don't know if you ever read this, but the idea of the book is that you want to build up. You don't necessarily want to start saying to yourself, I'm going to work out every day for the next 30 days, because chances are you're just not going to do that. But if you kind of break that down into smaller pieces and give yourself these little victories along the way, you will start building that habit from much, much smaller, more reasonable, more attainable goals that will ultimately get you to the habit that you want to achieve.
Totally.
Really spectacular book.
Cool. Yeah, I love books like that. I have one called U Squared, YOU Squared, like the little 2 squared. And it's really cool book. There's so much potential in each of us. That's the thing that it kills me when people have low confidence and all that. Look, here's the thing. Doing anything is going to be painful. Like that's life.
Anything worth doing is going to be painful.
It's going to be a big pain in the ass. Okay. Let's be honest. It's going to suck most of the time. But if you do it and you succeed, you're setting yourself up for greater success and long-term success and all that. So Yeah, Jim might jump on. Jimmy. Zip.
Yeah, we're rolling up on my my evening meditation time. So
Your
I'm gonna have
bedtime?
to-
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut out in a couple minutes.
All right, bro. Thank you for hanging out with us in the lounge.
Well, thank you for having me, Chris Flamingo Curran.
Yeah, baby.
And by the way, I should say in front of all of the listeners tonight, a happy belated birthday to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
What are you now? 27?
You know, I'll give you a hint. I'm in the Hall of Fame of the 48 Kilohertz Alliance.
Nice.
That's my hint. So how old am I?
103.
I'm
Actually,
96.
speaking of 103, a woman recently died. I read this in the news a day or two ago. She
Hold on,
died.
Ralph, keep talking. I'm gonna bring in Jim Collison, and
All
I
right.
don't know if he's gonna see, but we'll just bring him in, and we won't say hi right away. Okay.
All right.
Hold on.
So
Keep going.
in the news a couple of days ago, a woman recently died. She was 103 years old. She died of COVID-19 complications, and her sister died of the Spanish flu.
Oh my God.
Or years ago.
Oh yeah. 100
It's
years
crazy,
ago.
right?
Oh my God. Jim Collison.
What's up,
Hey,
Chris?
Jim, how are you?
Good, Ralph. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right,
think
with
we've ever
this,
met,
I'm going to jump off and I'm going to do my evening meditation. And I'll leave
Peace.
you guys to handle the rest of the show.
Carry it on.
Thank
Peace
you, Ralph. Great
Thanks,
Good to
job,
meet you, man.
brother.
Nice meeting you, Jim. Good
bet.
night,
You bet.
everybody.
Have a good night.
It's been fun.
Yeah, you bet.
All right. 28 at least. That's how old I am.
28
yeah.
at least.
Greater than 10. Anyway, Jim Collison, what's up, bro?
I got to get the chat room up. Hey, welcome to Wednesday night. We made it through 6 of these.
What? Wow.
6 Wednesday nights. That's the 6 weeks,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Kind of
true.
been for most people. That's not true for everybody, but 6 weeks. Is it getting better or worse? I heard you were saying you're struggling a little bit more than you were before.
Did I say that? I mean,
I don't know. It sounded like it was not as good. Maybe things weren't as good for you as they.
no, I mean,
Maybe I just-
everything's,
maybe I-
no,
I was
everything's
having
pretty
trouble
much
hearing you through the smoke of my cigar.
No, I actually watched the news, like a little bit of the news, Ben
Oh.
Shapiro today, because I haven't
Yeah.
been following the news and everything. And
Yeah.
now apparently now everyone's arguing over opening things
It's
up. and,
terrible.
like,
It's terrible.
I don't even know
People are-
what's going on. So
They're yelling at healthcare workers and who are trying to be like, "Hey, we have to deal with this every day. We see this. You might not want to go through this."
I
So
I don't.
I went and saw my doctor right before this started happening, and he was like,
Oh.
"Survival of the fittest, my friends. They're going to be that stupid. They're going to get eliminated." And
Right.
So it's just like, oh, yikes. So we're in for some serious business, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think everybody was hoping like, oh, we'll be quarantined for like 4 to 6 weeks and then we'll be done. And it's like, no, dude, this is going to unfold over literally the rest of this year, probably. Right.
Yeah. At least I heard from my work, they were like, start thinking about maybe the rest of the year just being home. Like, it doesn't mean we're not going to work. Like, I mean, but the area I work in, we can do everything from home. So it's like, might be smart just to hunker down. Would you, in your situation, I don't know what you do.
Oh, well, you know what I do.
Is it, are
I
you
do two
full-time on
things.
this stuff?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
podcast engineering school.
Right. So that's
Where we have
full-time
a
stuff.
semester every quarter. And then I also have Fractal Recording, which I do
Okay.
actual podcast production. So between production and the school, that's my life.
So nothing's changed for you except maybe things have slowed down or speed up. One of those two. Or
Yes.
stayed the same.
One client sped up for 2 weeks. They put out a bunch of COVID episodes but
Yeah.
now it's normal. So all good.
Right. Okay. For a lot of folks, I think who came home, and not everybody got to come home. I mean, I think about healthcare workers who are out there, food service who are still trying to keep restaurants open. Their life didn't change. In fact, it got worse in a lot of ways. But I think we kind of just need to figure out how to hunker down and still spend money. That's the thing. Like, we've got to keep somehow spending money for the economy. Otherwise, this thing will lock up and come to a grinding halt.
Right.
You know,
That's the scary part, because all that money they put into the economy was like so unprecedented, and it did the trick for what, 3-4 weeks so far.
yeah.
But like, dude, well, Mike Wilkerson says he'll go back when all the states are open, the airlines are viable.
Yeah, airlines are going to be they're in serious trouble. So we've got some work to do. Like, it'll be interesting, much like you guys were talking about, solving this content problem with, I forget who it was on there. I was kind of listening in the background. We're going to have to, this is not going to be a 2-week, like, okay, everybody go back. Like, we have, it's like an old diesel engine that it shut down. We shut it down. It sat, and it's a cold morning. And if you've ever tried to start a diesel under those conditions, it's going to take you a while.
Right.
And I just think we're kind of in for the long haul. The key will be, and I think that's the same in podcasting, the key will be, you got to stick to it. Like, you can't, this is the hard part. I heard you say you start a mastermind. First week, it's great. Second week, someone's missing. Third week, right? And they all follow this predictable pattern. You have to keep going long enough that you keep the regulars, so you build some regulars in there, right? And you'll find them, and it may not be the 10 you started with, it may be 3 or 2, but then you can kind of bolt on. We're coming up on celebrating 10 years this December in our podcast, and wow. I think of all the things I did in 10 years, and I just had a co-host pass away this week, early this week, gave into cancer. And and I started going back through my site, and I realized this guy had been on my podcast like 50s of times, 50, 60, 70, like he was on a lot.
Wow.
And then I just realized he was on a lot. And you don't get somebody on a lot unless you do it a lot, Right. You don't get to have those kinds of relationships if you don't do it a lot. You have to just keep going, right? So,
yeah, Mike says we've never restarted this engine because we've never had to.
No, we never had. 08 was close to that, although it didn't ever really stop. It just kind of ran out of gas. They just pumped money into the system.
Oh, cool. Daniel's gonna he set up 4 emails for Ralph. That's great. Don't forget his wife, CL.
I send him every hour.
Yeah.
That can't go wrong.
30 days. Well, no. Well, he's doing it the way he would do it, so Ralph can see. Because, by the way, Daniel, got to admit, like, Ralph and his wife are marketing people, so don't. He's definitely gonna reply back to you and probably say, instead of saying this, you should probably say that, and he might give you some good feedback or some crazy feedback, but it's Ralph, so it'll be good, whatever it is.
We've had a lot of I think over the 10 years that we've been doing Home Gadget Geeks, it's gone through cycles. So I went back and looked at some of the early episodes, 100, 200, in that category, and a whole different set of people were involved then that are involved now. And, 5 years from now, it'll be a different set. You just kind of go with who's working at the moment. And I found great success in having some of the same guests on, like, every 6 months. We bring them back to kind of catch up with the community, and the community knows who they are, and they're really good at advertising for us. And, more than just trying to do a one and done. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. But the one and done interview kind of format that you never have them back. I've had great success and just keep bringing some of those really good guests back.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that for my show, because the first 20 episodes of my podcast engineering show, like, I had on, I forget when I had you. No, you were later, but I had
like a year ago, I think, is when I was on, I think.
Yeah. And so anyway, I had like, Dave Jackson, Daniel J. Lewis. I even had Cliff Ravenscraft back then, because he was still active back then. Yeah. And I had, Rob Walsh, Rob Greenlee.
Did you get Todd Cochran on there?
Todd Cochran. Like, I had all those guys. I was I'm getting all the big guys. So here's to piggyback on what you were saying. I do want to have some of them back, because it's been 4 years, and like, So I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, have you changed your production at all? Like equipment or software, or have you changed how you do things in the last 4 years significantly? And if so, come back on the show and let's talk about it.
Yeah. Or haven't, what haven't you? If you ask me, I don't know if I've changed that much. It hasn't been that long, maybe a year ago. I was in, I think in a year I was in Studio B when I did that. So,
wait. I'm going to look it up because I told you this, I always use for my, I don't know why, for my course, I always use your episode.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because it wasn't too bad.
No. It's not for listening. It's just for the audio production. It's because of my voice. Like I thought my voice on this episode sounded really great. It's been a while, man. A year and a half.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. I'll come back on anytime you want, man.
28.
If you want to do it. You
well, let's look. Hold on.
It'd be.
And why is this crap happening? I can't stand websites. It's 20, and I still got freaking text getting separated like that. What is wrong with you website idiots? Jesus. Can you solve one freaking problem in 20 years? God.
Actually, I have downscaled at work, so I don't use 3 anymore. I just use 2.
Okay.
2 PCs. So I use a 2 PC setup there.
Your software is let me blow this up a little.
We're using StreamYard now.
StreamYard.
I don't know. Was I using StreamYard? Yeah.
Wait, for recording your podcasts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live. Everything we do is live. So it's live first. Okay. So we do them live and then we go in and edit. We don't do any show edits. We just edit out the pre-show and the post-show. The pre, mid, and post shows that we do, and we actually kind of changed our format a little bit where we do 2 podcasts in a session. So we'll do 20-minute version and then we'll take a break. We'll do another 20-minute. We do them live with an audience. The mid and post shows are more popular sometimes than that's what the audience comes for, is that unstructured kind of, they call it the real us.
So you still using Audacity?
I am.
No, wait. Oh, you are?
I am. Yep.
And
Auphonic.
Publishing to all the platforms.
Yep.
Including Podomatic and archive.org.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't use them they're not my RSS feed, right? I just post them out there. One of the things it does is, because I do Saturday Morning with Dave Jackson, I feel like I asked the podcast coach, I feel like I need to at least know what those things do. Like, what are they? How are they changed? How do they work? And I won't check them regularly unless I'm doing something with them. So I do upload my podcast there just so I know. Anchor's made some major changes over the last couple months. So I knew that because I was doing it. There'd be a difference. Anchor's popped up. Launchpad has popped up as a platform. Red Circle. Yeah, Launchpad. The I think that's the Podcast One. Yeah, Launchpad. I think it's their platform, Podcast One.
Oh,
they use it. They use it as a kind of a discovery ground for their new podcasters. So they provide this for free. Then they kind of watch the numbers, and when somebody spikes, they offer, "Hey, you want to come over to Podcast One and be on a real platform?" Is what they don't say that. Those are my words, not theirs.
Yeah. One thing I've learned in my life is when I was younger, I thought, because this reminds me of a record label. Like in the old school way of producing music, you had to be discovered by a record label. And if they liked you, then they would sign you to a record deal. Right. And then you would make these albums and they would distribute them and market them. Yeah. Because without a big label, you couldn't really, you could do a little bit yourself, but you could never do that.
Yeah.
So, but this seems, analogous, but the problem is in today's world on the web, you can't expect any other company to help you grow. Like you said, there's podcasts on here, and if one of them gets popular enough, maybe Podcast One would contact them and maybe try to onboard them. But even when they onboard you, it's not magic. Like all of a sudden your numbers are going to go through the roof. Right. Like they're almost they're expecting you to bring in the listeners. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
you think, oh,
right.
if I'm on podcast 1, I'll get a lot more listeners. So it's the classic mistake of each party thinks that the other party is going to be the
Doing the
one
work.
actually doing it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Same with
I
business
don't
partners.
I
Same
don't
thing
disagree
happens.
with you. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disagree with you at all. But one of the things, Chris, it does, again, because I'm in this podcast advisory space, is it keeps me close to those, because I'm the kind of guy I need to use it to talk about it. I can't be someone who's like, oh yeah, I heard or I read. No, I don't want to talk about it unless I know about it. So, every day, or not every day, every week, I post to all those platforms. Just go out there, and it's copy and paste format. I don't care if anybody really listens to it over there or not. Just doing it so I can kind of say, what are you doing? Like, I watched Anchor make their changes when they got blasted, and they're like, oh, okay, maybe we got to make a few changes. And so they did, right? They stopped trying to hijack your feed and all those other things. So I found it helpful to just stay involved in them.
Totally. So I'm curious, does anyone here avoid any platforms? Like, do some people like say, oh, I don't want my podcast on Stitcher, or I don't want it on this platform? I wonder. I don't think I do.
I don't know why you would. I'm thinking like Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Deezer. Those are the ones that kind of pass throughs, right? They kind of, you ask to be involved in them. I get quite a bit of downloads. I was on Stitcher early, and because I've had this mentality, whenever Dave finds them, and then we'll talk about them on Ask the Podcast Coach. That afternoon, I sign up for them. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, let's do this thing, And for a while there, I was even on Blog Talk Radio for a while, just to stay on that platform. And then I think they made some changes, and I was just like, I don't want to listen to this anymore. Maybe they don't have a free plan. I also only do it if they have a free plan. I won't pay. There's a few, right, that are pay only. I'm like, I'd be putting out $100 or $150 or $200 a month, especially in these times. Maybe that's not very smart.
Ben says I look tired. Thanks, Ben.
I think you look great, Chris.
Thank you. Well, I actually had almost an hour recording conversation that we recorded for Ben's Travel Man podcast right before this stream.
Oh, maybe he
was really cool. By the way, Ben, that episode's going to be long, dude. The first time we recorded was at least 45 minutes, and today was 50 minutes, maybe, or at least 45. Are you gonna edit me harshly, Ben? Are you gonna prune the crap? You look great for 61, Chris. Happy birthday. Oh, it is gonna be a long episode. I'm not 61
long
yet.
episodes.
No editing.
I like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, we had some. Well, no, we don't. It doesn't need to be edited. There were some times when we kind of stepped on each other. I would clean that up if I was editing it. But
Can I make a confession to you, Chris?
Sure.
Would that be okay? Can I confess?
Hold on,
something?
I'm pressing record right now. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I need to make a confession. Since we're talking about the time I was on your podcast. One, you were super gracious to me, by the way. I was not ready for Chris Curran. I was not ready for your podcast. I had not gone back and listened to any back episodes.
Okay.
I didn't. I knew of you at the time because you're out there. I've heard you interviewed on other stuff, but I wasn't ready for your style.
Oh,
and it caught me a little off guard.
Oh, really?
Just to be honest, I'm being honest with you. And I felt at the end like I really messed up. Like I felt like I did not match your intensity on the show. Like I thought, oh, Chris is never going to talk to me again.
Oh God, no way.
So but that's just being transparent, just being interviewed like that. I didn't, I may have confessed to that on Ask the Podcast Coach at one point, saying,
okay,
or I might have told Dave behind the scenes. I can't remember, but since I have you. And that's always one of those, as I think now before I go on other podcasts, I'm like, I should probably go listen to at least a couple of what they're doing. Like Harry Duran, he has two questions that he always asks at the end. What have you changed your mind? There's one other one. What if you change your mind? And what are you? Something else. And before I went on his show, I made sure, because it was right after I had been on yours. I made sure, like I listened to a few of those. So anyway, so if I sucked to you,
No, I didn't know anything. There was not. Everything was great. Yeah, no, I didn't know any of this.
Your style was just so unique. And you were playing the Barry White sound.
It's not Barry White.
Well, who was it?
It's Barry. He was the maintenance guy in my building in New Jersey.
Right, but he had that. He
has the voice.
Yeah.
But I'm just clarifying. It's not Barry White. It's another Barry.
Okay. Well, you called it Barry. I thought it was a Barry White soundtrack of some sort, but
no. Most people think that, but it's actually
no. I did.
So
I wasn't ready. I felt bad. I'm sorry.
So did you not have a pleasant experience on the show? Did you feel?
No, it was great. Like I really enjoyed it, but I felt like when we got done, I thought, oh, I don't know if I matched the intensity at which you come at this when you're recording. Yeah. That's how I felt. I just was like, oh shoot, I should have been better ready.
So lately I've been, when I do post-production on my shows, I'm sort of having this aversion to the hyped up Chris, like me bringing all my energy, which is what I do. Like now I'm over the past month, I've really gotten sick of myself, and I'm sick of that. Like it seems so caveman-ish, like, but that's, I don't know. It's what I do. And I asked everybody, and everybody said, no, you just be yourself. Keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, no.
So I know I can't change it, but I don't know. I really admire guys like you who are, you're chill, but you're also energetic. Like, because some people are chill and they talk like this, and they're just going to be chill, and they're going to be chill, and they're going to on the podcast, and when I'm going to be, when I talk about things and things happen, and then I keep talking, and then all that. Some people are literally boring, but some people are chill. You're one of them. There's a lot of people. This other guy I watch on YouTube, Mitch Ray, he does cryptocurrency analysis. Same thing with him, man. He is so chill, but there's still that energy. I wish I could be reserved with energy, but my energy is blatant.
No, I like your energy. Okay. Like I like when you laugh. Like I've been coming out on Wednesday nights because I like it when you laugh. Like you put your whole body, because I do too. I put my head back. I laugh out loud. I mean, I really like it. And so to me, that's that. I enjoy that. So I enjoy the intensity. I didn't do my homework. And if I would have, and I would have known what the energy you had, I may have come at it different. Now, that being said, you got authentically me. So I might have, in matching your intensity, it may have been fake, and that may not have been a good interview either,
right?
So,
right. And I actually believe that I handle guests pretty well, because I have different guests. I have some guests who know almost nothing, and I have other guests who are engineers like me. And so, and a lot of people are in the middle, and I don't exactly know if they really know what they're talking about or how much experience they actually have until I get them on the show. And so the people who don't have a lot of experience, or they might be, doing certain things the wrong way, like I'm really careful to work with what I have and just try to draw the best out of the guest, because that's one great thing about my show. I don't need to interview experienced engineers all the time. I like interviewing people who don't know very much, because I can actually ask the right questions and help them maybe even improve their workflow and stuff. So I enjoy both. So actually I don't really mind what kind of personality comes on my show or what they know.
Yeah. No, as I've gotten to know you, I've kind of, it's gotten easier, and it's gotten easier to figure out, like, okay, where to interject. It's like spending time with Dave Jackson. We've been podcasting together almost 5 years now on Ask the Podcast Coach. So I know, like, I can cut him. I kind of know he'll go on too long if I don't cut him. And so I know, like, he said his thing, he's getting ready to repeat it. I'll pop in there to add something to it. And he's okay with that. Like, we've been doing this so long, he's kind of okay.
Right.
You know, I'll change the subject. If we've been on something too long, I'll change the subject to bring something up. It's one of those, I think one of the benefits of just every week for 5 years, we've been doing Ask the Podcast Coach on Saturday morning. And we have a crew that comes along with us, and I'd never miss it. It's my favorite thing. It's one of my, it's more favorite than, I like doing it more than I like doing my own podcasts.
Oh, wow.
It's so much fun. Like, he's such a good guy. So
yes, that's awesome, man.
it's incredible. It's incredible.
You guys do. That's the great thing you guys do.
Yeah. It's fun. It's genuinely fun.
And did you hear earlier when I played some metal?
I did.
My
kids used to listen to some Screamo, I think is what they called it, right? I think in the day.
That's one thing. That's different than there's all kinds of subgenres.
Right,
I don't know them all now either. I don't know anything.
Right.
Back in the day, it was easy. What are you drinking there, bro?
It's my emergency water supply.
Oh, okay, Bud Light. I was gonna say in the cup you're drinking, it looks like hard alcohol, but it's fizzy.
So I had with the cigar earlier, I had a rum and coke, and so it's in the cocktail glass. But then I came down here and I'm like, if I'm going to be talking for a while, I better have some liquid refreshment. So
right,
there's a fridge, an emergency liquid fridge right here. So in it is stacked. We bought some Bud Light for a party that never happened because of this COVID thing for my wife's 50th. And so I've got a whole bunch of Bud Light that I just need to kind of work my way through. It's basically water.
Water beer. So Jim, throughout this stream, we've been solving people's biggest podcasting problems. Literally solving them on stream, done, solved.
Bam.
Move on with your life. But how about you? What is your, and it might not be a big problem because you probably don't have a big problem in the podcasting, in your podcasting experience. What is a problem you're having recently?
Yeah, I think it's just like a reoccurring problem for me. It's just discipline to do something twice. Like, I'll get a good idea and I'll be, oh, this is great. And I'll build it out. And then I'm bored. And it's like, I don't want to do that again. And so I really have to trick myself into those consistent things, like, getting conversations going on Twitter, making album art that's interesting to look at, or the thumbnails on YouTube. There's a lot. I mean, if you're going to do it all, if you're going to do everything everybody says you're supposed to do, it's a ton of work. And so I don't have the interest or the discipline to do it right all the time. And I kind of half-ass stuff a lot. And so I feel bad sometimes that I'm like, I gave that about 80% effort instead of, doing it all the way.
But are you just being overly critical with yourself because you're not hitting it 100%, or is that, or are you missing out on success because you're not doing 100%?
No, I guess it depends on how you define success. In that case.
How would you define it? Yeah.
Well, I'd love for Home Gadget Geeks to have 10,000 listeners. Like, we're at maybe 2,000, which is good. I like it.
Awesome.
Good, great community. Some of my most favorite people in the world have been my listeners for the last 10 years. Many of them have come on the show. They've been co-hosts, those kinds of things. So, I'm okay with that number. It's fine. But inside, there's times I'm like, if I gave it just another 10%, maybe I can lift that to the 10,000 download level.
Right. See, when I think about this thing, and I think we talked about it in one of these other lounge streams about trying to do like some crazy, crazy street level marketing, like weird off, like just crazy stuff instead of you doing and me and everyone doing every little thing perfect 100% like you're supposed to. Okay, I could do these things, but I could also do something completely different, and maybe doing one completely different thing would be more valuable than trying to be 5 or 10% better on a few little things.
The question is when and where and what. Like that's what it always comes like, what's the right thing to do? You always know 2020's, hindsight's 2020. So you always know, I could have, if I should have, I probably could have done that and then done this. Well, that you can't. And then when you're looking forward, you never really know, like, okay, what's the right thing to do? I'll give you an example. So Home Gadget Geeks, we just we hover in a pretty comfortable spot. I like where I'm at, what I'm doing. Just by accident, I brought on a guest that just went nuts and did a lot of promotion for us. And it was helpful. Like we saw some, there's my good friend, Dave Jackson. And so that made a difference. Like, and I couldn't have predicted it. I didn't do anything different for it. I didn't, I didn't plan on it. It just happened. And what do they say? Luck is where opportunity meets preparation.
Right.
And so, you get kind of lucky sometimes.
What was Dave mentioning? Am I doing the
What?
talking head hand movement? What was I doing? Was I doing something? Or this? I don't know.
Hand movement.
Same as it ever. The
same
same
as
as
it
it
ever
ever
was.
was. Oh, the talking heads. There is water at the bottom of the ocean.
You have to be old to know. You have to be watching MTV in the 80s. In the 80s. Is that my site? How far back did you go? Go scroll up for me.
Yeah, no, I'm on the top.
Oh, you hit the tag. That's weird because that's an older episode. That 436. We're up to 441. So,
But wait, this is the average guy.
Yeah, well, but you're at the Home Gadget Geeks tag. Apparently,
where should I go?
Just go to the averageguy.tv straight. Don't.
The tag. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that tag. Just for
I've
reference,
stopped putting tags on things.
Just for reference, I searched Home Gadget Geeks, and this is the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the second one because that one will probably
category.
It's the category tag is what. Yeah, there we go. So that's the most
Okay.
current. That's a good reminder. I need to probably go back and tag those. I didn't.
I'm telling you,
That's good
websites.
SEO.
I don't know. I would love to, like, there's a part of me that wishes I could get like 5 website designers, whatever you call someone who creates a website. I want to get like 5 of them in a room and I just want to beat them all with a bat. I'm just going to beat you.
It's weird.
I can't understand why such a simple freaking thing. I don't understand it. And I know the real reason, because everybody just wants to make money. Yeah. And if you make it confusing and you update the plugins every week and you keep shifting everything, then you need people to fix it, and it's whatever.
Hey, put my site back up 1 second. Not because I want to see it, but man, doesn't that look good? No. because there's a play button there. Yeah. On those, does that entice you to click it?
When
you see
I wasn't thinking about playing it. I'm not so I wanted to see your logo, and this thing was in the way, but I know that's silly, but no, that's a big play button is great. Oh
yeah. I tried to, it's a fake, it's just it goes through to the site that has the audio and the video embedded in. I really wanted to come here and audio only. And then we have the video down below.
Oh yeah. Oh, Dave Jackson. All right, see you, brother.
See you, Dave.
Oh,
see you on Saturday, man. See you Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, dude.
Good. I guess that's a good thing. I said some good things about Dave.
He heard you. Someone pinged him.
You never know who's listening on these kinds of things. I spent most of Sunday cleaning up my broken links. I didn't realize. I just. It's one of those things. I didn't have a broken link plugin. I haven't checked it. And man, when you have a website for 10 years, you have some broken links.
Oh man.
I had 500 broken links.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well,
dude,
we're a tech show. I mean, think about how fast those tech things change. So like Microsoft alone has changed through the platform 3 times in the last 10 years. So I had to go back and find, I found a really helpful plugin for WordPress that would suggest, so it'd say, hey, this is broken. And when you go to edit it, it would suggest where it found it on archive.org.
Oh,
So you're like, oh, cool. If I want to send my readers to a spot where what it used to look like, because it's gone now, and there's information there that they've captured, that may be really helpful. It may not be, but that may be really helpful. So that was actually a really helpful plugin to help me work through kind of like, do I want to send them to an archived copy of this page? Do I want to send them to a new page? Do I want to rethink what I'm doing here? And so it's about 6 hours to fix 500. Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Oh man,
But they're all 100%. They're done. This is one of those, you just said this, like, I did not want to spend my Sunday afternoon, but it needed to be done. And now that I knew it, I wouldn't sleep at night knowing that I had all these broken links. So
yeah.
I just buckled down. I took the laptop outside. I sat on the couch. I moved around, did some at the table, right? I just cranked.
Cool.
Got it fixed.
Yeah, that's it, man. Glad you got that done. I had a
Now-
question.
Yeah.
Archive.org, or is there, so people say that there's snapshots of the internet from years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
way back.
where do you see that?
At the Wayback Machine. So if you go to archive.org, you'll see a little banner. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's just do this in real time. Buy averageguy.tv. And
Oh, here it is.
Click on, just put your site in there, Chris.
Oh,
Yeah,
can I search for my old band?
Yeah. Well, you know the site name?
Oh, I think I thought
Do-
it was crookedties.com.
Yeah, do it by URL. So it'll go back and say these are those lines are where they've captured what the site looked like during that time. So what's great is that the averageguy.tv, it goes back all the way back to 2011, and I can see some of the early designs which were awful.
Oh,
But your first one is 2014. So if you go over to the stripe,
yeah, but I need something 2003.
oh no, those
2002.
they didn't get it in those years.
Yeah. So was this our website then? Can I just search for the name?
Yeah. Give it a try. I've never done that. So give it a try. See what it does. There you go. So it gives you some options.
All right. Well, we're not going to do this live then.
in real time. But you can so then you click on it. Now the Wayback Machine there's some things like banner ads and some Flash enabled stuff. They strip all that out. They don't. So you the site's not 100% complete. Then go down and you can see on the calendar. Yeah, click on it and then click on one of the links. By
February 20th, 2016.
Yeah.
This is like right when I set it up, probably.
Yeah.
Or
Click
right
on it.
after I set it up.
Click on it and see what it looks like.
Yep, it's working. Whoa. Launch your podcast, master your sound. I changed that. Wow.
Yeah, it's still there though. It's like you can't.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Ooh, the complete blueprint for launching your podcast. Oh, I stopped doing all that kind of
old habits, old things. Like it's there, right? I mean, it's a little embarrassing sometimes. You're like, oh, but they keep a lot of stuff. I think you could probably petition. There we go. You could probably petition them to delete it. I think with GDPR rules, that has to happen. So there's probably a form you could fill out that would wipe it out from them.
Huh.
But from a website perspective, kind of handy because I used to be an MVP for Microsoft in the Windows home server space. Well, they discontinued the home server in 2015. It's gone. They wiped out all their pages because they don't want to have all that old stuff around. So they wiped out all their pages that even refer to it. Not in the Wayback Machine, they didn't. So there might be, in my audience, there might be some folks who have nostalgia and want to go back and see documentation of the way it looked back then. The Wayback Machine keeps that.
Wow.
Even if it's gone, even if you think you removed it, the Wayback Machine may have it.
Wow. See, I'm searching for my other old band, which Was this it? Oh, this might be it. Wait, what the? No. All right. Well. Oh, this is it. Hold on.
Now you got to show it to us.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Is this it? Did I click? I think I clicked on this. Oh, wait.
So scroll
Here you go.
down. Yeah, you look for the
2001.
dates. There you go. The 25th of October, Scott one.
Oh, God. No, this isn't it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not it. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
So it'll be interesting to see if those guys keep that going. How long they can keep that going for? You know, every year they do a fundraiser to kind of keep the thing alive, and
Okay.
you know,
Is that where they capture tweets too? I know there's
Oh.
there's another service or there's something that I think captures tweets. So like when people
Okay.
put up a tweet and they delete it like 6 minutes later, like somebody has it. I don't know what that is. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, two guys says the Wayback Machine is an internet rabbit hole if you can
Yep.
afford. It is. It is for sure.
Yep.
But it's good historical for historical stuff. And then of course I do send my podcast over there. Just so there's someplace like eventually something's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna stop paying my hosting bill. That stuff's gonna go away. Not in the Wayback Machine, it's not. And you know, and so or even on archive.org, you know, at least for now, they still could go away too. But I'm kind of thinking, you know, when my kids get my age and I'm gone, you know, they may think, I wonder what dad said about this, or you know. So I've thousands of hours, Chris. It's ridiculous in the last 10 years how much I'm on YouTube and some of those other things. It's stupid.
Right. Yeah. The Library of Congress.
Good.
Isn't that? Yep. Starting an
Good.
archive podcast.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if our government survives this.
Oh man. So I think we're almost done here.
Okay.
I'm tired. I'm tired, Jim.
You look tired, Chris. I was going to say, I mean, you look kind of tired. That's you know, you getting
I'm
sleep?
tired.
Are you sleeping okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sleeping pretty good. I just wanted to wake everybody up.
Oh yeah. Play. Love the dunk thing. Does she do the screamo voice too, or the double voice, whatever that is?
Yep, you'll see it
That's
right
for
here.
her too.
This is sick.
How do you even have a voice when you're done with that?
Well, apparently there's if you're a trained singer and you know how to use your voice, you can do things that are much less like if I was to scream, my voice would be gone in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they have to, performers like that, man. It's unbelievable what they have to go through to keep their voice in check. I mean, just think about that. If you're on tour and you're a singer,
oh my God,
dude, every meal you eat, every little cold, you get anything, sinus, anything, it affects your instrument so much.
Did you ever tour?
No.
With bands?
I mean, I played shows like locally, and
local shows.
We had the most epic show we ever did with my hardcore band was we drove out to Pennsylvania. It was we were friends with this band, which was also from North Jersey. So there were 5 bands playing and we were 2 of the bands. So we actually made we drove like, I don't know, probably 10 carloads of people, like a lot of people. And then we stayed at this hotel and we were all young. We were all like 19 or 20 years old. And we played this show in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And we were the 4th band out of 5. And And there's video of this somewhere of this show. I should find that. I don't know where it is.
YouTube somewhere?
No, you know what? It's on Facebook.
Okay.
You know what? I'll look for it right now. We played, I think 2 or 3 songs, and this one song we had a bunch of mosh parts. So like people would just go nuts. Dude, the people went nuts. They started breaking stuff. And then the guy who was running, it was like a hall.
Yeah.
It's like a Knights of Columbus hall. The guy who apparently owned the place came on stage and was like, "That's it. Stop. We're done." He literally canceled the show right in the middle of our set.
Wow.
And of course, you know, that happened one other show too. The guy actually unplugged our guitar player's amp. Me and the bass player kept going. We wouldn't stop. We didn't stop till the end of the song. Let me try and find that, dude.
Oh my gosh. That sounds great. We did. I was a vocalist for a band for a while. We did this little venue one time here in Omaha, and this buddy of mine talked to me, and he was like, "Hey, there's this music festival. It's going to be in this parking lot at the local mall. They're going to have thousands of people there." And I wasn't a big fan of it, anyways. And I was like, "I don't know, Al." And he's like, no, we got to do this thing. We got to do it. So my brother-in-law came down from Kansas City and was going to be there to help us and stuff. And we showed up, and it was all day, and we were, maybe the 10th band there or whatever. And they were playing off a tractor trailer, a flatbed. That was the stage, right? It was a flatbed tractor trailer. And so we get there, and there is like nobody there. Like, and I was like, "Hey, there's nobody here." And I was like, "Well, we committed to the organizer. We need to do this thing." And I was like, "There's nobody here." I mean, they had a sound guy. They had this platform. They had a pretty nice sound setup, but there was like 7 people. And I'm like, "No, let's not do this." And he's like, No, we committed to this. We're gonna do it. My bass player had set this all up.
Right.
So we played it, and it was the worst. Like it was the worst thing. Like 6 people out there, and you're like, "What are we doing here? This is dumb."
Yeah.
This is dumb.
I know that feeling.
I broke that band up pretty quick after that. I was like, "Okay,
right.
I'm not gonna do this anymore."
It's totally
humiliating.
Yeah, it's hard to play for that many people, and then and then when especially if people don't really react, and it's people, because it happened in a lot of the small clubs. You would play, and most people just stand there and watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So do you know how to search a Facebook? Can I search my Facebook posts?
I think if you go to, let's look here.
Because I'm looking at my I can't figure out how to search
profile,
my old posts,
your news feed. So if you go to your profile,
so here I am.
And is there a search bar? Is there a search for your own profile like there's in groups? I don't see one. Maybe the chat room knows.
Yeah, anyone in chat know? I just want to search my old posts, and I think you can. Or do I just? No, I don't do it there. Timeline, no. About, friends, photos, archive, more. Archive videos, check-in, sports. To the right of the search field at the top in the upper website, you can select whether you want to search post, people, photos. Oh. So.
Oh, yeah, you could probably just do it right from that. Because on mobile, you just go to it'll just search whatever page you're on. I love how you have that music playing in the background.
Oh, you like it?
Mm-hmm.
I actually like it too. I'm glad people. Oh, here we go. Posts.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you know what? Oh God, it wasn't my post. It was all posts you've seen. Anyone, your friends. Yeah, it was one of my friends.
while you're looking, there was some. We had some radio guys here in the Omaha market, Todd and Tyler, and they got syndicated, and they were probably on, I don't know, 10 or 12 different markets, but they're original here to Omaha. They would play. They started they would play some music, and then the talking got to be the popular stuff. So they just quit playing music altogether, and it was really just a 3-hour talking show. But they would always be playing music in the background, and I always thought that was great. You know, they would just play it like you got it playing in the background. I think that's a great idea. Do you have a playlist, or what do you?
No, so it was now that I'm thinking about it, it's one of my friends on Facebook posted the video.
Oh no, I was talking about the music playing in the background. Is that
a
playlist?
No, the music playing in the background is it's the Grateful Dead. It's a 6-hour Grateful Dead jam, instrumental jam.
Nice.
Which I found on YouTube.
Okay.
And yeah, funny story about that. Part of it, because I was listening on the stream early on, and this part came on where it seemed out of phase, and I literally went in the wave and I found it was out of phase, and I flipped the phase, and then I basically fixed it.
Wow.
Because I think it's a combination of a bunch of different shows. They didn't jam for 6 hours straight, just standing. Although they may have done that, I don't know, but not this. This is, you can hear them cut to different performances and stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna make one more try.
Okay. Give it a college try.
I am gonna give it a try.
They started tearing the place up. The guy comes up.
Oh, dude, when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh my god!" And when you see me, you'll be like,
What?
"Dude, that's you."
What did how long ago was this?
This was in '92.
Okay. Wow, I was just getting out of the military.
Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. All right, I'll have to find it. I'll find it for next time. Oh man, I wish I could show you though. Anyway, I'll show you next time.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. You know, I'll be back. So,
because it's the show where I also, at the very beginning when we started, and I didn't do this, I didn't know I was going to do this. We started the show, and I drank, like, the guitar starts, and I took a drink, and I don't know why I thought it, because it was really hot in there, and I had no shirt on, and I took a drink, and I don't know why I thought of this. I'm like, I'm gonna keep all the water in my mouth, and then when the song kicks in, I'm gonna spit all the water, like literally straight up in the air.
Yeah.
So I literally did that, and it was like it looked so cool. Like I didn't expect it to be so cool. I thought it was gonna be stupid or something, but it really was like as soon as all the music kicked in,
Nice.
and then the place just went nuts. It was crazy.
So great.
And like one of the cool things about being in a band is like your posse, like the people, like just your friends who are there to help you. Like they're not in the band, but they come, some of them come to every show and like help me bring in the drums. And so like, if there's ever a backstage area, they're there with us. Cause they're like part of our crew.
Right.
It's so fun, man. Right.
They're the roadies, right?
Yeah. The friends and roadies.
So my son's a drummer. My oldest is a drummer. Pretty good. And
okay.
When he was in high school and early college, they tried, they made a run at being a band, and they played all over the city and did some other things too. And it's just, man, it's tough work. I was a roadie for him, and we'd help carry stuff in and do stuff for them. And then eventually I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like you're on your own. We'll show up we'll pay for a ticket to get in, but I don't want to carry stuff anymore.
Oh man.
So it was, yeah.
I found it, by the way.
Oh, good. You can play it?
Yeah. I think I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely shouldn't get taken down by YouTube.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. Can you
throw the picture up? Because I want to see this water. We're going to see the water spraying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's a small. I don't know if I should.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. I
Can you
think
see
that's
it?
as big as you're gonna get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's our singer, Aaron. There's our bass
92,
player.
right?
There's Paulie, the guitar player. And look who that guy is.
Nice. Oh man, that just looks like it's trouble.
See the crowd? They're all. You can't see
Yeah.
all of it yet, but
It's so great.
sound is terrible.
Well, it's probably like a camcorder, right?
Yeah.
A really expensive camcorder. 92 a camcorder. Those were not cheap.
Oh my god.
Is this bringing back memories?
Yeah, this was
Do
crazy.
you remember this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty good sized crowd.
Oh, it was a huge crowd. Like
Yeah.
probably
And they-
500 people packed in.
They're all liquored in there.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
There he is.
Yeah. Look at that form.
Oh yeah.
It's like a
Double bass.
watch party that we're having right now.
Oh yeah.
And why is the bass player always looking at the drummer? Why is that? It's just they're always looking at each other. It's like a
Yeah.
Is that a requirement in a band that the bass player and the drummer are always looking at each other?
Well, it's because they got to lock together, so that's
Oh,
why.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you know that.
Yeah. Just
All right,
crack.
but where's the water? Can we see the water?
Is it coming up?
I don't know. Oh wait, mosh part.
Oh, okay, here we go, Mosh. Oh, they're starting to get into it now.
Oh yeah, yeah. But this is see they're moshing pretty good, man. You see that? Dude,
Yeah.
that's a serious small show mosh pit right there.
So great.
I don't know.
Coming up on 20 years on this, right?
This is
30
28 years
30,
ago.
30 years on this.
All right, let me
So-
see if we could see if we
fine.
could get the water spit or the guy coming on the stage.
Doesn't look too destructive right now, but they must just be really tearing it up to the left there. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's
it's-
it.
It's,
Oh, see, no,
oh,
you didn't get the water spitting
Okay. Or the guy coming up on the stage.
or the guy coming up on the stage because the whole light they turned the lights on in the whole plate. Like the lights came on bright white,
Yeah.
and you know when you do that at a concert, it's like what's happening?
Yeah. Hey, what's
Like
you
that's
flip
what you do at the end. Yeah, yeah.
everybody out.
to
Everybody out. Hit the road. Go tear up 7-Eleven across the street.
So then we all stayed in this hotel afterwards. So think
Yeah.
about this, like 30 or so young people, 2 different bands,
Ooh.
bunch of friends, and
How did that go?
well, we had I don't know. I think did we have beer? I don't think we did. No, we didn't.
How could you
No, it wasn't
not?
it wasn't a party like that.
Okay.
Yeah, at the hotel. It was one of those outdoor days in where all the doors are
Oh, the
outside.
doors. The doors
Yeah,
are on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys wreck anything at the hotel, or was it
No.
pretty tame? Okay.
Yeah, no, we weren't that crazy. Like, no, we didn't get that crazy. That's crazy. Like so you hear about Guns N' Roses when they were first starting and stuff.
Yeah.
They would just
Just trash. That stuff always made me super uncomfortable. You know, I was like, come on, guys. Let's like we can respect some things. I never understood why people would tear stuff up.
Yeah, it's just for show and to get like, because I read an article where the guy said he sat down to interview the band and like he was like in the middle of asking his first question and Axl literally took a full bottle of vodka and just threw it against the wall and it smashed. And like, but I think mostly it was, I mean, those guys were into drugs, but I think mostly it was Axl just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Cause he showed his true colors. Like after they got famous, man, he lost it. He was way too controlling. And then talk about a guy who, if he had his shit together, could have had one of the most amazing careers ever.
Mm-hmm.
But yet after Appetite for Destruction, they had their double album, which was okay. Wasn't that good. And that's it.
They're done. Yeah.
Like literally since 1991, I think they've done nothing of note. Mm-hmm. And then he took like 15 years for this Chinese Democracy album, which I don't even know if it ever came out. I think it did, but it didn't do anything. And it's like, dude, what did you do? You were literally one of the biggest bands on earth. And would have been like, you know, people say like even however big Metallica ever got, Guns was way bigger.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What what?
you don't see it when you're in the midst of it. You know, you're in the middle of it. You don't see, you think you're doing the right thing. I bet in the day he thought he was doing the right thing for his success. You know?
Yeah.
You just don't know. You don't know. You're so blinded to everything else that's going on around you. You know, you don't really know.
Yeah. Well, you know, a good analogy would be if you were, let's say you or I, or maybe you watching this, right? Let's say you have a podcast. Like you said, you have a couple thousand listeners. I don't know how many I have. Not as many as that for sure. At least half as little as that. But let's say that you or I, over the next 3 months, all of a sudden had an audience of, 20 million people,
right?
Like Ben Shapiro. Like you're literally getting as much as Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro. And it's like Jim Collison 3 months from today.
Right.
Dude, your mind would be like, whoa, like what you hit record, you're going to feel like, oh, dude.
Yeah. No, right on. But what happens, I think, in those situations is when it gets that big, you get so many voices coming at you. You got producers, you've got the folks owning the network and the channels and all these people, and you get new friends who are there to help you, and your old friends are there to help you, and everybody's there to help you, and everybody wants a piece of the pie, and all of a sudden you don't know who to trust anymore. And so you start making these really, like I said, I think they're making decisions what they think is best in the moment. And you're so blinded to it. You can't really, you just don't know. And it's easy for us to go, 2020 and look back and say, oh, they should have done this. God, in the moment. I mean, that's the train wreck of most of them, right? You get super famous and then you make really bad decisions. I'm not saying that's happening in government or anything like that, but you just don't know sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And so, you surround yourself with people who you think are helping you, and maybe they are, and maybe they aren't. There's only a few really good examples when you think about that kind of fame of folks who actually make it all the way. Billy Joel or the verdict's still out, but like a Taylor Swift, she seems to be handling it pretty well. For think maybe what Miley did or some of the other ones in that group did versus what she's done. And I think, I don't know, man, it's a crapshoot. I think the rise to fame is a crapshoot, and I think maintaining it is a crapshoot. I wish that upon no one.
Yeah.
Like my worst nightmare is being famous. I have way too many skeletons in my closet.
Yeah. Well,
so
does everybody.
I know, that's the problem. They all do. You got to survive that. You got to somehow say, okay, yeah, I did do that, and I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's why character is so important. And that's one of
Yeah.
the things,
Yeah.
even like, people talk about America and that, we're so superficial and into things and technology and all that. And it's true. And then you have people saying, oh, but religion is important. And, of course, most people in religion, they're not really doing it. They don't really believe. They just go to church every Sunday and sit there and whatever. And no one's talking about character. No one's talking about building a fine character with skills and attributes that are noble and good. And just no one talks about that. So we all just live how we live. We think it's like a game. We're just here like, oh, let's just hang out. And it's like,
Right.
well, no, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
we have spiritual progress that can be made. But no one cares about that. All we care about is the iPhone and as long as I can stream on StreamYard. Okay. And my podcast and my new plugins. Oh yeah.
Well, and you start doing this stuff and say you do get a little bit of fame, and then that you start chasing it. So you're like, oh, okay, I got to do that. I got to do the next thing. And then I got to do the next thing. And man, I got to do the next thing. And I think at every point, someone gets to the point of compromise where it's like, oh, if I don't compromise, I can't go to the next level.
Right.
And it's that spot of compromise that gets them.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. And you're not thinking super clear because you're just like, this is my one shot.
Yeah.
And if I jump off now, it'll never happen again. And you know what? It may not, to be honest, right?
Right.
It may not, but I'd rather not get there and have some life intact than to blow that thing out. And, where some of these folks have landed, and you just kind of go, ooh, yikes. So I don't know.
It's
easy for us down here to say those kinds of things. I don't know if we've ever been in a spot where we've necessarily had to make those decisions.
Yeah,
maybe right after that event, Chris, you were in the spot. You had to make that.
What
Make a decision. Am I going to continue to spit water in the air? That's the thing that does it. That's it. That was the thing that's through the rough.
Yeah, it's. I think you're right. It's little things. It's like the idea of like death by 1,000 cuts. It's like if let's say if someone wanted to bring you onto their podcast network and you were going to start to get famous, and they said, well, but if you're going to come on, Jim, we just need you to do these couple things.
Yeah.
And if you didn't agree with them, but they weren't that big of a deal,
right?
You might be like,
lie about your life. Like we there's a few things you need to add to your life to be in this spot. That'd be a perfect example of like, okay, I'll start lying about something that never really happened.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. But if it was even something smaller, they'd start smaller. They'd be like, can you just wear a red shirt with this funny logo every show? And you'd be like, oh, I don't want to wear that, but okay. So that's a little thing. And then they'll ask you to do a little thing. And then later on, they might say, oh yeah, could you just say that you graduated from Boston University? And you'll be like, what? But at that point, they already got you, and you've already lied about 14 little things. So this one is like, it's not that big of a deal. Before you know it, you're in hell.
Yeah, well, or you kicked out of the band, one of the two. Yeah, no, it's a slippery slope, and it's hard because you, in the moment, you feel like if I say no to this now, I'm done.
Right.
I am done. They're going to kick me out for sure, or I won't have the success I've always wanted.
Right.
Whatever that is. You may not even know what that is.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's a slippery slope. I've told a lot of, I've worked with a lot of college students and have said to them, I wish fame upon no one because it has such great responsibility and really is not what you think it is. I'd rather have a group of friends around me that, you know, we're doing this thing called life together, and everybody's got something, and we're not lying to each other, and it's not out of control, and everybody's being healthy, like those kinds of things. I'd much rather have that and never have any fame,
Right.
than fame and whatever. It's just not worth it. But when you get old like me, not you, because I think you're 29. Is that what was said earlier?
Someone said 61.
I think you stop thinking about that stuff as much. If it, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've said on Ask Podcast Coach a bunch of times, like, I think there's a sweet spot in a podcast audience where you can still have awesome connections to your audience, but you don't get the trolls. And I think that 500 to 2,000 category is one of those spots where it's perfect.
Right. Totally.
You know? So, all right. Sorry, I keep talking. I know you wanted to go. So
No. I'm the one who's talking and it's showing videos.
it's good. It's good video. I am disappointed that we didn't get to see the water spin incident. You
Well,
got to
we'll
find
see.
that for me.
I'm gonna try to find that. And with the guy coming on set, I mean,
That would be even better.
I need that.
Did he just like go, lights came on and then he came up and went?
He came up and he's going, that's it. And he like grabbed my cymbals. Like he kind of grabbed some cymbals and then he turned
Did you
around and he's like,
so when he let go, did you keep playing? Or just not?
I don't remember actually. I remember the other one when they pulled out our guitar player's amp. They shut off his amp, and me and the bass player, and they shut off the vocal mic, and me and the bass player just kept going.
Didn't they know this was what these things would lead to, or did somebody book it and not tell them?
No, well, I think what happened was I think these people moshing, they actually like slammed into they broke a door or something. Like I think some damage was done. It wasn't just because it was getting crazy. It's
right. Damage.
they got afraid that actual real damage was going to happen. But they did break a door. But anyway,
liability.
Well, someone just showed up
Liability.
here. Welcome to the lounge. We're actually packing it up.
Yeah.
So thanks to everybody. Thank you, Jim Collison.
Well,
This
you
is
do
great
this.
hanging out
You're
with you,
very.
brother.
Thanks for letting me hang out with you, Chris, and thanks for being so kind to me the last time I was on your podcast and letting me admit to you that I maybe wasn't quite ready. When do you do these on Wednesdays? What time do you start on Wednesdays? When for folks that are just joining us, when could they come back in? I hear you again.
7 to 9 Mountain Time. So that's
Okay.
9 to 11 Eastern on Wednesdays.
8 to 10 Central.
8 to 10 Central, and which would be 6 to 8
Pacific.
6 to 8 Pacific. Yeah, Wednesdays. I mean, and I
they can sign up on Facebook and get a reminder, right, to do it.
Yeah, if they join the Facebook group, join the Podcasters Lounge Facebook group, and then you'll see the posts, you'll see the streams, but you can also watching on Twitch and YouTube is even better. But yeah.
Yeah,
All
YouTube
right, well,
is my
thank
favorite
you.
place to go. You bet, Chris. Good seeing you, man. Have a good week.
All right, take care,
week,
man.
All right, we'll see you guys.
See you soon. See you. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Hope you enjoyed it.